Unforgettable 920.
The following sports broadcast is an exclusive presentation of the Unforgettable 920 KSHO. Bulldogs football is on the air. You can follow West Albany all season long. Every snap, every score, every game, home and away on KSHO. Bulldogs football is brought to you by Economy Supply Building Center, City and Suburban Electric, Lassen RV, Albany Athletic Club, Power Honda, Snap Fitness of Albany, Linco Federal Credit Union, Burgerville, Crabtree Automotive, Mark Thomas Motors, Grocery Outlet, Courtesy Corner Shell, Now Builders, Glen Lanes, Willamette Community Bank, The Cutting Room, Leschwab Tires of Albany, Figaro's of Albany, Wilson Motors, and by Lynn Benton Tractor. Now get ready for Bulldogs football. For all the action, here are Radio Ryan and Wally Orderman live on the Unforgettable 920 KSHO.
Bringing to you another perfect autumn night here in Albany. Cloudless evening, and it's that time again. Time to pick sides. You can be blue and gold tonight. You can be red and black. You can't straddle the line. It's Civil War night here in Albany. The South Albany Rebels, the West Albany Bulldogs. It's here on KSHO. Very pleasant Friday evening to you. I'm Ryan Pitts alongside Wally Orderman with Jeff Kiter here tonight. Wally, it's very rare that we head into a broadcast talking about how the Bulldogs can rebound from a loss. That's how we start this one. A loss last Friday night at Silverton, 28-21. Has the Bulldogs thinking maybe a little bit different goal, not so much league championship. They're no longer in control of that. Now they just have to take care of their business. They start here tonight. A lot of emotion on the field. Civil War, rivalry night, big name on the opposing sideline. Big night here in Albany.
Yeah, it really is. It's a rebound game for the Bulldogs after dropping that matchup last week at Silverton. And the Bulldogs, there's still a lot to play for on this season. It's going to be very difficult. Silverton would have to lose twice for the Bulldogs to win the league title. That's very unlikely to happen. The Bulldogs do have to take care of business. They need to run the table in the conference schedule the rest of the way. Now it's all about the power rankings, the OSA power rankings, and getting that ranking as high as you possibly can. The only way they can do that now is with wins. They could do that, possibly secure home berth in a playoff game, and then they're going to have to make a run through the playoffs as we would anticipate. That's going to be the recipe. Bulldogs have to just take care of their business. It starts tonight with a very prolific South Albany football team.
Yeah, if you like offense, this is the place to be here tonight, as West Albany and South Albany will feature the leaders in all three major statistical offensive categories. Passing, Tanner Tibbett of South Albany. Rushing, Jake Lacoste of West Albany. Receiving, Mitchell Gable of South Albany. There should be a lot of points. Both of these teams have been over 40 4 times on the season. The difference here, West Albany's 4-0 when they score 40 points. South Albany has scored 40 points 4 times. They're 2-2. The defense for them has been an issue.
Yeah, it has. And West Albany, it's going to be a story of contrasting styles tonight. The Bulldogs on the ground. South Albany has gained a lot of their yardage on this season through the air. The Bulldogs are well tested against good quarterbacks, and they're going to face another one tonight. Tanner Tibbett is among the 5A, among the leaders at any classification in Oregon football this year. And Tanner Tibbett, 1,350 yards on the season, 10 TDs through the air. Mitchell Gable, you mentioned him, wide receiver, 32 receptions, 689 yards, and 5 touchdowns too. They have been prolific. They are excited. They've got depth on their football team which has been an issue for them over the years. South Albany, they're racking up the points. Defensively, it's going to be a test for them to try and corral Jake Lacoste and this the potent West Albany offense.
Yeah, South has scored 40 points 4 times. They've allowed 53 times. They've allowed 60 twice. And perhaps the weak spot of their defense is against the run. Of course, West Albany's strength is the run. If West Albany has shown some vulnerability on defense, it's through the air. And South's strength is through the air. We could see a lot of points on that scoreboard tonight. Kickoff is about 5.5 minutes away. We are going to have our national anthem here at West Albany High School. Yes, we will. So we'll keep it here and try and let you listen in the national anthem at West.
For the ramparts we walk, we're so gallantly stream. And the rockets red glare, the bomb bursting air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Well, there you have a very, very nice rendition of the national anthem. I will do my best to get a name for you before the end of the night. Sung a cappella here at West Albany High School. A big night as a private plane opposite heads towards presumably Albany Municipal, not too far from us. I thought we were going to have a flyby at the end of the
So
anthem.
did
I was getting excited. We've got a good one tonight. South Albany and West Albany. It's the annual Civil War, with West coming in 4-1, 2-1 in the Mid-Willamette. South Albany is 2-3, 1-2 in conference play. Kickoff's a few minutes away. Let's step aside for a timeout. We'll continue along at KSHO.
If you'd like to do it yourself or need helpful advice doing it, your neighborhood Ace Hardware and Contractor Center can help. Economy Supply Building Center has been that helpful place for over 58 years. Economy Supply Building Center, where Highway 34 becomes Tangent Street in Lebanon.
Need some electrical work in your home or business, but it just seems like too small of a job to call the pros? No matter what the job, call City and Suburban Electric. Proud to be a contributing member of our community. City and Suburban Electric. Call 451-5609.
Lassen RV in Albany has the new RV models on the lot now, ready for you to buy. Lassen RV Service Department has a new truckload of parts and accessories on sale just in time for fall fix-up. From changing a light bulb to rebuilding your entire RV. No job is too big or too small for Lassen RV in Albany, where friends send their friends.
Join the fun at the Albany Athletic Club. Group fitness classes from low-impact dance to traditional circuit training, plus racquetball and more. Watch your waistline shrink and your health improve every day. Start now at the Albany Athletic Club on Hickory next to Tom's Garden Center.
Unforgettable 920.
Welcome back here to West Albany High School. Ryan Pitts, Wally Ordeman, and Jeff Kiter. A couple minutes away from kickoff between South Albany and West Albany. The coin toss down on the field. South Albany will receive to start the game. It is homecoming night in addition to everything else. And I mentioned the big name on the visiting sideline. I'm sure if you're in Albany or from the surrounding areas, you know who I'm referring to. When South Albany last year went 0-9 and 0-7 in the Mid-Willamette Conference for a second consecutive year, a change was made at head coach. The decision for the new name, it was Bryce Erickson was the one they brought in. Bryce Erickson is the son, of course, of former head coach of the Oregon State Beavers, Dennis Erickson. And it was Dennis who walked by us earlier. You got to shake his hand. I've been saying for a couple of weeks now, if he was going to be here, we'd try to get him on the air. I don't know the odds of that, but you at least got to shake his hand. Dennis Erickson is in the building. His son, Bryce, already starting to rebuild this Rebel program. One of the first things I noticed coming in here is just the numbers on the South Albany roster. And that's one of the early ways that you can tell the energy is back in the program, just getting the kids to come out. And at South, that's the case.
Yeah, a lot more depth. The numbers are huge for South Albany. You could tell there's a renewed enthusiasm for the South Albany football program. It's great to see. It's great for the city of Albany. It's great for this rivalry. And Ryan, well, I've got the chance. My thanks to Patty Daskalo, sent me the message. Sydney Hayes was who sang the national anthem tonight.
Very good.
Beautifully done.
Thank you, Patty, and well done. Sydney Hayes on the anthem this evening. And lest I forget, we're surrounded by goodies here tonight. We've got cookies off to my left. They were brought to us by Gabe Stone's mom, Lynette. We've got cookies to my right, brought to us by the Smiths. Treats everywhere. Our cholesterol is going through the roof, but we thank you. Treats mean airtime. There's the beginning of the airtime, and I promise you I'll mention it again before the end of the night.
Yes, I will too, and they're both. I tried them both. They're delicious.
West and South getting set to go. Matt Weiss will have it teed. Just a light breeze moving from west to east. Old Glory unfurled opposite us. Matt Weiss, again with the neon sneakers. They're not the hyper-colored yellow like we've seen the last few weeks. These are more of a highlighter pink. But you've seen the breast cancer awareness throughout the NFL, and maybe Matt doing a little bit of his own. At least from here, they appear to be a fluorescent pink. As Matt has it teed, and South Albany will receive to start the game. Mitchell Gable deep for the Rebels. As we are set to go, big crowd on both sides, as you'd expect here on Civil War night. Could not ask for a better night for football. Underway as Weiss puts his foot to it. Angled towards the sidelines, and it will bounce out of bounds. Did it go inside the pylon? The initial question, and the answer seems to be yes. I don't see a flag, so they should bring this one to the 20. The ball went out of bounds. The only question was, did it cross inside the pylon first? I think they're still trying to discuss down the sideline.
And I think they're ready to do exactly that. We did see a flag, so it would indicate that it had gone into the end zone for a touchback. No indication from the referee, so I think it's probably coming out to the 25.
That's a disturbing start, because one of the things I've mentioned this year and have bemoaned is the lack of a definitive signal. Now, they've placed the ball at the 25-yard line, and we'll see if they correct that. Yep, there we go. All right, gentlemen, off to a flying start as they spotted the ball at the 25. Now they are going to say it went out of bounds before it went into the end zone. So they're going to bring the ball out to the 35-yard line, and that's where South will start 1st and 10.
Now, in high school, I know college changed to the 25 when it is a touchback. Is it the same in high school?
No,
it's just a 20.
Yes, it would be the 20. West Albany students below us in great number here tonight. The band is here. Always a special night when it's Civil War evening, and it is homecoming evening here as well, as Tanner Tibbett will go out of the shotgun on 1st down for South Albany from their own 35-yard line. Tibbett on the keeper, off left tackle, and Tibbett will turn it up to the 40, just across the 40, near the 41. A solid 5 on 1st down for Tanner Tibbett. Dallas Mealer is the running back. He's been out the last couple of weeks, and with Mealer out, Tibbett has run the ball more.
Yeah, for a team that does a lot of their damage through the air, you get 5 yards on your first carry of the game. You've accomplished something. Nice job on that play. 3
receivers stacked left to the right as Tibbett in the no huddle will now change the play. Gets it from the sideline, creeps the line of scrimmage, gives a signal, now retreats back to the shotgun. Mealer to his left, 2nd and 5 from the 40. It's a give straight ahead to Mealer, trying to get to the right side and cannot. Carson French wraps him up and drops him. Nothing there for Mealer. It'll be 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, no lead blocker for Mealer. And boy, I tell you, French got in there quickly, seemed to be untouched, and made the nice sure tackle. They gave him forward progress to the original line of scrimmage there. It's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Tanner Gardner, Matt Soot, Alex Boyd, and Brian Garcia along the defensive front for West Albany. Carson French, Gabe Stone, Nathan Clark, your linebackers. Secondary in a moment. As Tibbett back to throw, sets up, fires, has Gable open. It's a 1st down to midfield for Mitchell Gable, a pickup of 10. It'll move the chains for the Rebels. Ball right at midfield.
Yeah, West Albany's going to have to keep an eye on Gable this entire game. They're not going to be able to give him a cushion. If you play up snug against him, it means you're going to have to have somebody in reserve in case they pump and go, or in case he gets away. Got to have two sets of eyes on Gable all the time.
Gable moves in motion as the give goes to Mealer inside, and Mealer fights his way for about a yard with a flag in. As it stands, it'll be 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a 1st down. I think that's going to be a face mask on the Bulldogs.
That's the indication from the official who comes in initially. The secondary for West Albany, Anthony Thompson, left corner, Ben Engel, right corner, Joey Roos, JT Valenzuela are the safeties. Good to see Joey Roos in the lineup. Joey left the game last Friday night against Silverton.
Had a neck issue is what that was, and mainly left out. I think they thought that he was probably fine, but mainly precautionary. Anytime deal with the neck, they're going to keep him out of that game.
A 5-yard face mask, so it's 1st down and 4 for the Rebels from the West Albany 44. 10:25 to go in a scoreless first quarter. Tibbett from shotgun, gives inside to Mealer with a head of steam. Mealer will spin his way just inside the 42. It's going to bring up 2nd down and short. Devin Wade, of course, was the story last week for West Albany. Left in an ambulance after being down in the field for about 30 minutes in the 2nd quarter against Silverton. The official diagnosis, he tore his sartorius muscle. Yes, I had to Google that, but it is the longest muscle in the human body. It runs from the hip through the thigh. That was torn. He also tore a couple of tendons. He's on the sidelines on crutches tonight. But just good to see him upright, quite honestly, after that scary moment. Mealer a carry on 2nd and short, and he's going to be dropped for a big loss. Back to the 49-yard line. Nathan Clark back there with some help, as West Albany did a nice job to string that one out wide.
Mealer lost the shoe. Mealer, 5'7", 140-pound senior. lost a shoe. He's going to have to come out. It's like being replaced by Caleb Emmons, 5'7", 160-pound senior.
It'll be third down close to 8. They spotted just inside the 48 of West Albany, and Wally maybe early 2-down territory here for South.
Yeah, it's this would be an interesting call if the Bulldogs can hold and see what South Albany does.
3rd and 8 from the Bulldog 48. Tibbett straight drop under some pressure, steps up. Now it's going to go down. Not much there, maybe a yard. Ryan Garcia got in to bring him down. It'll be 4th down, about 6.5 here for South Albany.
Yeah, pressure came on the blitz, and the blitzer didn't get him, but it forced him to stay on the inside. Bulldogs funneled him in, and big change of personnel. Looks like the Bulldogs have held, and they're going to get the ball back.
Yep, South Albany will punt. This is South Albany, the young man back to punt, and has his side to him. He can't make out the number, but South will punt. And JT Valenzuela will go deep for West Albany, standing at his own 10. Snap is high, no rush on, and a wobbly kick heading toward the sideline. Will hit at the 20, roll out of bounds inside the 20. Jonathan Brewer was the punter, or not Jonathan Brewer, it's Richard Plate who was the punter. And they will spot it out at the 15-yard line. That's where West Albany will start. 1st and 10, 8.5 to go in the first quarter, no score.
Well, if South Albany's playing field position battle here, then that was a good punt. Got the Bulldogs backed up to the 15-yard line, where they'll take on their first series here. Jake Lacoste will be in the offensive backfield, and the Bulldogs go to work primarily, we anticipate, on the ground.
And Cody Lahota, the 6'2 junior quarterback, will bring it up under center. As they start with Matt Soot as the fullback. Jake Lacoste, the tailback. Jake gets the carry. Little seam up the middle, so he'll get to the 20. A pickup of 5 on 1st down. Looked like a big hole at the outset, but it closed in a hurry. Jake still picks up 5. It was odd to say last week in the postgame, it seemed like Jake was bottled up when he ran for better than 200 yards. But Silverton really did a very nice job for the most part, as Jake had more carries last week of short yardage than I can recall.
Oh, no doubt. It was a workmanlike 200 yards, no doubt about it last week for Jake.
Jackson Soto goes in motion right to left. Another carry for Lacoste, accelerating off left side. Jake change of direction, close to the 1st down. Down right at the 25. Should have it based on the spot. And it will be a West Albany 1st down at the 25. Another pickup of 5 for Jake.
He's got quick feet, doesn't he? Planted that left foot, cut that inside. We thought he was going to make a break for the corner. Saw a seam there, got the 1st down yardage there. A mature run by Jake on that carry.
West Albany brings it to the line, left hash mark, 1st and 10 from their own 25. 7:32 and moving here in the first quarter. Lahota on play action, rolling to his right. Looking downfield for Breslin, who goes up and makes the catch. A leaping grab for Breslin at the 45. A gain of 20 and another circus catch from Breslin.
Well, you can't teach height. That certainly Breslin has that, but you can condition for hops. And he's got those golden hands, too. Beautiful catch. Ball put way up high where only Breslin was going to be able to bring that in. Goes up high, brings it in, and 1st down yardage as the Bulldogs are approaching midfield.
Breslin, an interesting week last week. He dropped a couple that were right in his hands, and he made a couple of highlight catches. As Lacoste with the carry left side. South looking for a flag. They're going to get it as Jake is going to break this one down the sideline and go to the end zone, but it'll come back. A smattering of applause, but the flag rests at midfield and the hold on the outside. I don't know if it's audible on the air. We could hear above him somebody yelling "hold" from upstairs. That's going to be the call.
And Ryan, if they called that on Soto out there blocking out ahead of the play, I don't think that it was. He had that guy locked up, but it doesn't mean that he was grabbing anything. It looked like a really nice seal block on that far side there. Really too bad. It's a nice run by Jake. Jake runs 60 yards for naught, and it's going to come back 10 yards.
Even as he was heading down the far sideline, there just wasn't much excitement to be had by the location of the flag. You could tell it was a hold and it was going to come back. The flag rested in midfield, so they'll take it back to the 40 where it will be 1st down and 15.
Well, 1st down's the only good news of that whole play right there is that the Bulldogs still have 4 downs. And I guess if you're going to have a hold, 1st down's the time to do it. Got a full set of downs here to work with, 1st and 15.
They'll whistle it in. Lahota goes under center. Back to throw. Short drop. Throwing a slant for Breslin. And it is caught. And Brendan's going to break away. And he might score a touchdown to the 20, the 15, 10, to the 5. And a touchdown for Breslin, who took off a little bit early there. Thought maybe he was going to walk into the end zone. He gets tripped as he crosses the goal line. A near interception. Breslin takes it away and takes it to the house. Touchdown, West.
I'll tell you something else that you can't teach, and that's desire for the ball. Brendan Breslin, what a great catch that was. It looked like it could be one of those mutual reception kind of things, kind of a Green Bay, Seattle kind of thing going there. But Breslin able to wrestle that ball away. Looked like nice defensive play by the defender there, by the DB, but Breslin gets more of the ball, brings it in, and takes it to the house for the Bulldogs.
Boy, for a moment, I thought we might be going the other way for 6. It turns into 6 for West Albany as Breslin the catch in the breakaway. Matt Weiss for the point after. That is up, and it is good with 6.
Oh, got the car.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, we're not on TV. You got to explain yourself.
Did you park down there?
I parked close, but I'm off to the right. I'm okay. Point after, good from Weiss. 6:59 to go in the first. West Albany 7. South Albany nothing. We'll take a break and return to KSHO.
You will come out a winner at Power Honda. Their talented staff will show you how easy it is to get the vehicle you want and the payment you need. Check out mypowerhonda.com. Call 928-0122 or just go in to Power Honda, Highway 20 east of I-5 in Albany, your Honda Superstore.
Albany Burgerville is celebrating 50 years of serving customers fresh, great-tasting food with a mission to serve with love. Pick up a Burgerville card now and earn rewards cash for every dollar spent. See store for details. Stop by Burgerville after the game. Order a famous Tillamook cheeseburger. Open 7 a.m. to midnight Fridays.
920 KSHO.
Back here at West Albany High School, 7-0 Bulldogs as they score on their opening possession. 60 yards, the touchdown pass from Cody Lahota to Brendan Breslin. There's a little bit of a similarity between the Oregon-Washington series. This week you're hearing a lot of chirping from the Duck fans. Oregon has won 8 in a row in that series. And people kind of forgetting that Washington for a while had the best of that rivalry. In this Civil War, West Albany has won 10 straight, but prior to that, South Albany had won 6 of 7, including 4 straight from 1998 to 2001. So West has had the better of it of late, and they lead the overall series 24-17. As Matt Weiss will approach and boot it from the 40, good deep kick. Is Isaiah Curligan will watch this one go into the end zone. This time it is a touchback, and South will start from their 20, 1st and 10.
So he's got a strong leg, but he also has a lot of wind at his back. You look at that United States flag out there on the pole, and it is standing straight out. Bulldogs with the wind at their back. Weiss puts it in for the touchback, and Rebels will have it at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, I said a light breeze at kickoff, but it's picked up as the sun has gone down here. Just another amazingly nice day. We're in week 6, and I think the Bulldogs right now have more winds for than clouds we've seen so far this season. Incredibly good weather, very fortunate. As Tanner Tibbett out of the shotgun, West Albany leading 7-0, 6:59 to go in the first quarter. Tibbett with Mealer to his right, will give it to Mealer. Mealer's hit and dropped by Stone. A loss on the play of about a half yard. Gabe Stone in to torpedo Mealer down.
And Gabe Stone had a clear path to Mealer right there. Nobody put a helmet on Stone, and he found that seam that Mealer was trying to find himself and able to make the sure tackle there. Loss of about a half a yard.
Second down, we'll call it a long 10. Tibbett bobbles the snap, goes back to throw, rolls left, fires over the middle, tipped and almost intercepted. Intended for Mitchell Gable. Joey Roos got a hand on it, and on the deflection, Ben Engle very nearly had a pick.
Tanner Gardner looking back at the referee saying, hey, I got drugged down there. Where's the holding call on this end? Tanner Gardner always has nose for the ball, nose for the quarterback. What an aggressive player he is.
It'll be 3rd down and 10 as Tibbett will move from the shotgun again. 2 receivers each side, spread formation. Mealer, the running back, to his right. Back to throw, fires right, and it's incomplete. Off the fingertips of Trent Webb, right at the first down sticks. A 3 and out for the Rebels. They'll have to punt. And with 6:28 to go in the first, the Bulldogs leading 7-0 should get good field position.
And, you know, Ryan, the Bulldogs might think about bringing some heat on this punt. Rebels are buried back inside their own 20 here. This punt will be for about 10-yard line. Plus, South Albany punting into that stiff wind.
Yeah.
This might be a time to bring the house.
Richard Plate will punt it. Snap a little askew, and Plate does a good job to get it. A high kick, not deep. It's going to hit at the 38 of the Rebels and bounce dead at the 40. A 20-yard punt with no return. The Bulldogs start in plus field position, 1st and 10 at the Rebel 40.
Best case scenario for the Bulldogs. And Ryan, I'm just jump in here. Was going to, after that holding call on the Bulldogs last time when it made it 1st and 15, I was going to ask grandson Jackson for some Jackson mojo. And then 2 plays and into the end zone. So So I'm going to consider that was done, but I also take the opportunity to say hi to grandson Jackson listening to the game tonight.
Even when you think it, good
That's
things
right.
happen.
We are one.
Jackson Soto goes in motion. The give is to Matt Soot, the fullback, and Soot off left tackle for good yardage down to about the 32 for 8.
Yeah, and I like that call. It just keeps the defense on their heels, a little bit off balance there, and one less carry for Jake Lacoste. You want to try and limit his carries as much as you can, get the most bang for your buck, but also not ride him too hard in this game.
Bulldog offensive line again getting the job done. Colton Grant, Steely Smith, Buck Truelove, Alex Boyd, Cole Zumwalt. From right to left along the line, as Lahota goes under center and a little pitch to Jake. Rolling right. First down to the 30s at the 25. Bumped out of bounds near the 20-yard line. A little rollout and a pitch from Lahota. Picks up close to 11 for Jake Lacoste.
Yeah, good first down yardage. The great starting position for the Bulldogs gives them so many options. The push out of bounds credited Tyler Nicholson, 5'10", 170-pound. Lost it, junior for the Rebels.
I will mention, Wally, you were right on last week. There was a number 37 out there for West Albany. We didn't know who it was at the time. It was Joe Birchfield. Tonight he wears number 83. Lines up as a tight end left. As Soto goes in motion right to left. The handoff goes to Jake running left. Gets a block from Soot. Tries to turn the corner and does. He's at the 10. He's at the 5. He's in for a touchdown. Off left tackle with a great block from Soot. Lacoste goes 21 yards. Touchdown West.
Boy, what a nice run that was. Soot gets out there and gets a helmet on somebody, and then Lacoste just a couple of bob and weaves and sees that corner of the end zone and makes a break for it. Nobody's going to be able to catch him when he gets that open green in front of him. Nice run by Jake Lacoste.
So the Bulldogs off to a good offensive start, 13-0. Matt Weiss trying to make it 14 with 5:33 to go in the first quarter. Ben Engel is the holder. Dion Webb is the deep snapper. Webb sends it back. Engel puts it down, and Weiss puts it up and through again into the parking lot.
I missed the cars, though. Those cars are parked pretty closely together there. I don't know how you missed those cars. We went right between them.
That's why I don't park in the front row. 14-0 West Albany. 5:33 to go in the first. We'll break and return to KSHO.
A first-class 24/7 fitness facility, always open with keyless access where safety is paramount. That's Snap Fitness of Albany, where they offer free classes of yoga, Pilates, and Zumba with each membership. Check out Snap Fitness's new gym, now on Hickory Street in North Albany.
Albany Grocery Outlet Bargain Market across from the Heritage Mall has Senior Day, the first Tuesday of every month. $2 off every purchase of $15 or more. Albany Grocery Outlet Bargain Market. 100% satisfaction guaranteed across from the Heritage Mall with bargains on the brands you trust.
Unforgettable 920.
Back here at the West Albany High School, Ryan Pitts, Wally Ordeman, Jeff Kiter. 14-0 West Albany leading South Albany with 5:33 to go in the first. Before, during, or after the game in Albany, you can grab a hot and ready $5 pizza at Little Caesars. It's across from the mall on Geary Street, the new and only Little Caesars in Albany. Great start if you're a Bulldog fan. The drive for 85 yards on the first possession, 60-yard touchdown pass to Brendan Breslin, and then the quick strike. Bulldogs in 3 plays go 40 yards, and Jake Lacoste a 21-yard touchdown run, making it 14-0 as Matt Weiss sends it away, again very deep, and again into the end zone and through the end zone. As Matt Weiss is just showing off now with a little breeze at his back.
Oh, man. Well, it'll be a true test when they reverse sides.
Yeah.
We'll see how far he gets these kicks.
His special teams mate, Dion Webb, his long snapper, came out to give him the first kudos. Another nice kick by Weiss. The Rebels will take it 1st and 10 from their own 20. Mentioned in the pregame, and it's no secret, just looking at the numbers, that South Albany has had good offensive numbers, but their defense has really struggled. And getting themselves in an early hole tonight is Tanner Tibbett, the leading passer yardage-wise in 5A. Better than 1,300 yards and 10 touchdowns. Going to be airing it out a lot, it would appear. 1st and 10 from the 20. Tibbett will give instead inside to Mealer, and Mealer for 3. He'll get it to the 23-yard line. Carson French in on the stop for West. 2nd down and 7 upcoming for the Rebels.
The Bulldogs can't be complacent here. We know that the Rebels, they're averaging 40 points a game, Ryan, and while they're giving up 43, they're averaging 40 points, per game on offense. They can be a quick strike, and they know how to score.
Mealer gets the carry, bounces off one tackle, not the second. He'll get 2 to the 25 before he's plowed backwards. A host of Bulldogs in on the stop, led by Brian Garcia. It'll be 3rd down and 5.
Bulldogs substituting, although South Albany go in with the no huddle look here. The Bulldogs still able to get substitutes in as South Albany looks to the sideline for their plays. Not as quick as what Oregon does down there with the no huddle, but South Albany tries to keep you from getting substitutions in.
And Cody LaHoda is in as a cornerback on the near side. Tibbet on a play fake, going to keep with a flag down. He's going to go down. Nothing there up the middle as Tibbet tried to keep. We'll check the flag, which comes in just behind the tackle. A host of Bulldogs in on the stop. It'll be 4th and 4. Penalty permitted.
White hat kind of checking it out. Going to make the call here. We hope.
It's a hold on South. That'll be declined. It will be 4th down and 4. South Albany from their own 26, and again they will have to punt with 4:30 to go in the first quarter, already trailing 14-0.
Yeah, West Albany's defense has been solid so far in this game, Ryan, and without Devin Wade in there, you wonder how the team's going to react, but certainly have filled the holes nicely so far in this game. Another 3 and out for the Rebels.
Snap is high again. Tanner Gardner very nearly got to the punt. His plate will put it out of bounds at the 45 of West Albany. Yeah, the Bulldogs will start 1st and 10. Again, very good field position. Without Devin Wade in there through most of the year, Wade and Steely Smith had been alternating time at left defensive tackle. Tonight it's been Alex Boyd and Colton Brandt, who we've seen kind of alternating spots at defensive tackle.
As you get to this midway point of the season, a lot of times when you're a little bit nicked up, you have some injury issues, you're going to see some substitution, some replacement by committee, and I think that's what we're seeing on the defensive line tonight.
1st and 10 West from their own 45. LaHoda on an option will keep straight ahead. LaHoda has space at the Rebel 40 at the 35-30, stumbling his way inside the 25, and he pitched it back to Jake Lacoste, and Jake is in the end zone with a flag down back at the 30. LaHoda alertly pitching it back to Jake Lacoste, who took it in, but there's a flag down on the play.
I don't know what they're going to do here, but isn't that something? I was a little bit blocked off, but all of a sudden I saw 28 taken off. So you knew that he had lateraled it back to Jake Lacoste. What a heads-up play by LaHoda. We'll see what they call.
Yeah, that certainly appears that it will come back. LaHoda, a great run on his own. And at the end, the presence of mind to get it to Jake Lacoste. As he checked the flag, face masks out, so this is going to be a touchdown for West. Cody LaHoda with the run. Down inside the 30, pitched it to Jake Lacoste. Jake takes it in. Jeff Kiter to my left saying, who's touchdown?
I'm looking down at Jeff wondering how he's going to score this on his stat pad there. You got LaHoda with about 20-plus yards in rushing, at 30 yards rushing there. Found a great hole. I don't think South Albany ever anticipated that LaHoda would keep that. Figured he'd probably pitch that out. Takes it 30 yards, pitches it back to Jake Lacoste, takes it the rest of the way for 6. The Bulldogs on the board again.
Matt Weiss, point after, is up and good. It is 21-0 West Albany. I'll call that a 28-yard touchdown run for Jake. But LaHoda did most of the work. Jake finishes it off. Bulldogs off to a great start. A 3-touchdown lead with 4:03 to go in the first. We'll take a timeout and return to 920 KSHO.
We're Linco Federal Credit Union. Keep your money in Linn County with Linco Federal Credit Union. Enjoy a visit with one of our friendly staff at a neighborhood branch near you today. Linco Federal Credit Union in Albany, Lebanon, and Sweet Home. In Linn, you're in.
Family owned and operated since 1979, Crabtree Auto stresses the small stuff when it comes to maintaining your vehicle. An oil change every 3,000 miles is a small thing now, but adds up to big rewards down the road. Crabtree Auto's ASC certified technician can help your vehicle maintain its reliability beyond 200,000 miles. Crabtree Auto on Hill Street, just south of 9th in Albany.
America's best music and the news you need. This is 920 KSHO, Lebanon, Albany, Corvallis.
And back here as darkness takes over in Albany. West Albany leading South Albany 21-0 with 4:03 to go in the first quarter. 2 more touchdowns for Jake Lacoste. The last one was some help from Cody LaHoda. I think that's the first time we've ever seen a quarterback run, a lateral, and a touchdown run for a West running back. But there it was. Jake gets credit for the score. Jeff had it down as 30 yards for LaHoda, 25 for Jake. I agree. In any event, Bulldogs on the board again, and Matt Weiss set to kick it again. Let's see where he puts this one. Again, just going to rocket it deep, and this one will almost on the fly go out the back of the end zone. Hits about 9 yards deep. South Albany will start from the 20, first and 10.
Where's a normal kickoff? It's 40. It's from the 40, right?
Yes.
And they kicked from the 45, so it was a penalty assessed on the kickoff. Must have been what that was, because that kick was from the 45.
So it will be first and 10 South Albany from their own 20-yard line. Farmers Insurance is the right choice for auto insurance, home, life, business, boat, and RV insurance, and a whole lot more. Your local Farmers experts are Roland Brower and Tim Finley on 9th, across from Mark.
This is News Talk. Let's try that again. This is 920 KSHO. Let's get some commercials going, and then we're going to try to get that game going here. 920 KSHO.
Now is the time to buy a car at Mark Thomas Motors. 4 generations of the auto business and here to stay. Mark Thomas Motors is big on supporting local events. 3 locations in Albany: Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Hyundai, GMC, Buick, Pontiac. Now is the time to buy a car at Mark Thomas Motors in Albany.
Just like the Bulldogs, Courtesy Corner Shell gives you everything they have every time you drive in. Fast and friendly service, windows always clean. Non-ethanol fuels for small engines, boats, and vintage cars available. You can't beat Courtesy Corner Shell near Queen on Pacific Boulevard. They'll be happy to see you.
Unforgettable 920.
All right, we got the game back, I think.
Yeah, we're here again through the magic of Skype, and the Skype sometimes loses its magic as the punt from South Albany after a second down and short turned into a 4th down and 5. The Rebel punt goes out of bounds at the Bulldog 40, so Wes is going to have it back with 2:31 to go in the first quarter, 21-0. West Albany with the lead. Again, if you haven't joined us in a few weeks, we now come to you via Skype with the laptop here, and sometimes inexplicably the internet connection is lost. It was there for a few moments, so our apologies. West Albany leads 21-0, and we'll have it first and 10 from their own 40 with 2:31 to go in the first quarter.
It's been all West all the time here so far in this game, and Ryan, the Coach Nyquist just has to be elated with how things have gone, especially on the defensive side. South Albany just hasn't had an answer offensively.
Jake Lacoste with a first down carry, and Jake is grabbed and dropped for a loss back near the 36-yard line. Some good pursuit from the South Albany defense. The first time really they've been able to get into the defense or the offensive backfield. As it was Will Hatley who made the stop for South.
Well, with a 3-touchdown lead, Coach Nyquist, he knows this game's being scouted by future opponents too. He can keep things very generic and just work on the things that he knows he's had success for. As we see Jake Lacoste go out in slot formation.
The pass to the near side caught by Breslin. Safe route. Breslin makes the catch, takes it near a first down out close to midfield to see where they spot him. Just short of the first down. It's going to bring up 3rd down and a yard here for West at their own 49. Pick up a 13 on the play.
Well, and Ryan, we worried about how prolific South Albany was on offense and their receivers and them racking up the yardage. How about Brendan Breslin's got to be close to 100 yards just through the air so far in this game.
On 3rd and 1, a quick give goes to Jake Lacoste up the middle, first down and more at the 40, cutting near side of the 35, stays on his feet at the 30, spins to the 26-yard line. 25 more yards for Jake Lacoste, keeping his balance, showing the low center of gravity for about the last 5 yards.
Yeah, that desire just to not go down. Jake Lacoste, so impressive on that one, and fights through contact. We've seen it time and time again on this season where he fights through that first contact, and the second wave isn't ready for him. And he did exactly that this time.
Jake already over 100 yards, as Jeff Kiter points out, still in the first quarter. Lahota throws far side, and this one is tipped with a flag down back at the 30. Pass was deflected, incomplete.
Trent Webb making himself big there, the defensive end, 6 foot, 170-pound senior. Trent Webb, number 11. Nice job batting that pass down.
Illegal shift against West Albany. We'll see if South wants 2nd and 10 or 1st and 15 here. When you mention big, how about Clayton Sprinkle, the defensive lineman for South at 6'7", 240, and a senior left defensive tackle. He stands out a little bit down there. He's about the only guy who could look eye to eye with Dan Rothwell. The Bulldog, a defensive assistant.
And you.
And me, right. If I was standing on a stool. As Lahota gives to Jake Lacoste up the middle. Huge hole. See ya. 20, 15, 10, 5, and a touchdown for Jake. Untouched. 30 yards to the house. Touchdown, Bulldogs. Well, so much for the penalty. A 5-yard assess. And Jake takes it 30 for another West score. It's 27-0.
Yeah, how about the blocking up front, Ryan? That offensive line just blowing open a huge hole for Jake Lacoste to run through. As the Bulldogs make this 27, to nothing, trying to make it 28 on Matt Weist's leg. Minute and a half to go here in the first quarter.
Boy, quite a first quarter offensively for West Albany. The long drive the first time, set up with good field position on the next 3, and they've cashed in. Webb snaps, Engel holds, Weist boots it through with 1:25 to go in the first quarter. It's West Albany 28. At South Albany, nothing. We'll come back in just a moment at KSHO.
Lynn Lanes in Lebanon, home of the best burger in town.
Good family fun. Bowling.
Open every day and until 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday nights. Ballistic bowling starts at 10 on Saturday nights.
Stop by Lynn Lanes in Lebanon.
Hi, I'm Dave Wood, President and CEO of Willamette Community Bank. We are proud to support our local high school sports, music, and scholastic programs. Be part of the team and get behind our schools and our future leaders. Willamette Community Bank, service like no other. We promise. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Competition is tough in the hairstyling business. The cutting room on Pacific across from Pops doesn't mind, because just like the Bulldogs, we strive for excellence with confidence. The cutting room wants to be your salon. Call us for an appointment at 541-928-0811.
It's that time again, Les Schwab's Fall Tire Sale, our biggest sale of the year. Come in and get great deals on some of our most popular tires. But hurry, the Fall Tire Sale ends October 31st. Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
America's best music and the news you need. This is 920 KSHO, Lebanon, Albany, Corvallis.
28-0. West Albany as Matt Weist, another kick, end zone bound. This one will hit a couple yards deep, and the Rebels will again come out to the 20. 4 touchbacks here in the first quarter kicking for Matt Weist, and another one that was very close. It went through the end zone, but had gone out of bounds at the 2. So Weist with the wind at his back, blasting the ball off the tee, putting the Rebels in a hole field position-wise, and the Bulldogs have put them in a hole on the scoreboard. 28-0 with 1:25 to go in the first.
Yeah, it's been really effective on both sides of the ball for West Albany, and you feel for South they've run into a buzzsaw still right here in this first quarter of this game. But we know that South can bring it. We know that they have some tools, and they have the depth. It's going to take the right mix of play calling and offensive efficiency here. We know they can do it. West Albany defense, they've been up to the task so far.
Tibbett back to throw, throwing in the middle, tipped and intercepted. Ben Engel has it at the 25. Engel down to the 21-yard line with a flag down in the backfield around where Tibbett released the ball. And this could be a possession changer as Ben Engel got the interception off the deflection. But the flag down, and it will be roughing the passer, West Albany. So the Rebels will keep it with 15 yards.
Man, what a turn of events that is. The Bulldogs on Ben Engel's interception. Ball slightly tipped, Ben in the right place at the right time, and boy, really lowered the boom on some trying to make a tackle on it too. But it's going to be a 15-yard penalty here. It'll be first down yardage for South Albany as they move the ball out to the 35-yard line on the West Albany roughing the passer penalty.
On the Rebels very quickly get to the line of scrimmage. South Albany with sharp new uniforms this year. Black pants, white tops, gray helmets. As Tanner Tibbett from the shotgun on 1st and 10 from the 35 will keep. Off right side looking for space. Nothing there. He'll be dragged down with Gabe Stone at the bottom. Brian Garcia there to help. Mark it down for a loss of a yard, second down and 11.
Yeah, nicely done defensively. You could really tell that the Bulldog defenders weren't necessarily engaged with the blockers there. Just kind of get rid of them and made the tackle. Everybody stayed home, made the sure tackle.
Tibbett with under a minute to go in the first quarter. Back to throw, under pressure, rolling out, and he's going to go down. Nathan Clark gets him back at the 25-yard line.
corner.
So now the Bulldogs just turning it loose here, Wally.
Yeah, and boy, they're just really pinning their ears back and coming hard. Nathan Clark, the corner blitz, you could see him just kind of inching toward the line of scrimmage and then takes off. Unfortunate play call for South Albany as they rolled Tibbet out to this near side right into Nathan Clark. It's a perfect defensive play call by the Bulldogs.
3rd down and 20 upcoming here for the Rebels from their own 25-yard line. If the Bulldogs bring heat again, they don't show it. As Tibbet back to throw, they'll rush 4. Tibbet going to throw the deep ball near side, up for grabs on the sideline and out of bounds, incomplete. Intended for Gable. Ben Engel had good coverage. It will be 4th down and 20, and with less than 10 seconds to go in the first quarter, the Rebels will punt again.
Yeah, I like what Ben Engel did there. He saw the defender making the streak, and so he turned his head, turned his back to the play, and ran to catch up to him, and then got his head turned, then saw the receiver was headed toward the out-of-bounds line, knew there wasn't going to be a catch made. Well defended by Ben Engel.
Ben may be a little frustrated that he had an interception taken off the board a moment ago. Great coverage there, forcing the punt again. Richard Plate stands inside his own 15. JT Valenzuela at his own 47. 28-0 West Albany, 9.3, and movement.
Well, sometimes new technology is great, and sometimes you got to work along with it. But we'll get some scores for you right now while we try to get that call back from them. Hermiston beat Southridge of Washington yesterday, 42-13. Crescent Valley up on Corvallis, 9-0 right now. Wilson up on Hood River Valley, 21-0. That's in the first quarter. Putnam up on Liberty, 14-0. Let's see, Ashland over North Eugene tonight, 21-0. Same score with Sherwood and Park Rose. Sherwood over Park Rose, 21-0 also in the first quarter. Lebanon is holding on to Silverton right now. It's 7-6 Silverton in the first quarter also. Bend up on Summit, 13-0. Ridgeview over the Dalles Watonka, 8-0. Milwaukee over Wilsonville, 6-0. And Dallas over Woodburn right now, 7-0. That one in the first quarter too. We're going to take a timeout real quick right here on 920 KSHO, and we're going to get back to the game here in just a moment.
The mission of Now Builders is treat every job like it's their only job, no matter how big or small, and they don't stop until their customer is 100% satisfied 100% of the time. Check out their portfolio of fine work at nowbuilders.com. Call Now Builders at 541-926-2858.
Through September, Figaro's in Albany has the Santa Fe barbecue chicken. Tender cuts of chicken, dull pineapple, fresh onions, and sun-ripened tomatoes, all atop their signature barbecue sauce.
Unforgettable 920.
The short drive to Corvallis will save you time and money. This is Steve Buckner from Wilson Motors, inviting you to experience the notable difference at Wilson Motors, 5th and Buchanan in Corvallis. Check us out at saveatwilson.com.
Making life easier and more productive, that's what Len Benton Tractor can do for you. And it all begins by discovering how the full line of Kubota equipment can help.
Benton Tractor, we're still doing business the American way.
Highway 99E, Tangent.
Unforgettable 920.
All right, while we try to get that game back, we'll take it to the Lebanon game. Silverton up on Lebanon right now, 7-0. Here's Ray and Rob with the call on the 1580 KGAL.
So short of the first down, though. Down to about the 8 or 7, where it looks like they're at the 7, just outside the 7.
Well, Garcia's got to be up to about 10 carries for the night now. He had 29 last week. He gets in front of the load. 13 carries.
They can pick up the first down here. It's a short 1 yard to go, 3rd and 1 from the 7-yard line as Garcia gets a little head of steam and picks up that first down. It'll be a 1st and goal, Silverton, inside the 5-yard line.
At the 1. Well, yeah, actually they mark it back a few yards.
They're back about the 3, just inside the 3, so about 2.5 yards to go for the touchdown, 1st and goal. Silverton up by a point, and it looks like they're headed for the end zone again, barring maybe the Warriors' friend, the flag. Could you throw a flag?
I hope there's a holding. I really do.
Here's Chandler. Chandler to Garcia. Tries the right side. The Warriors will stop him short, and the flag comes down, but that one is late.
That's a late flag.
Doesn't appear to be a holding penalty because it came rather late. Maybe a personal foul. Face mask against the Warriors. And that will be half the distance to the goal line. And they will be certainly knocking on the door now. They'll be almost inside the door here, as they should be at the 2-yard line.
I forgot about the Warriors having an earlier face mask, so that's now 2 penalties for Lebanon.
Again, Lebanon is down to Silverton right now, 7-6 in the first quarter. But we have Ryan and Wally at West Albany. Here you go, Ryan.
Thank you, Tom. Once again, our apologies, as this time the Skype drop causing us to miss a touchdown. Jake Lacoste with another touchdown, his 4th of the first quarter. It came on the final play of the first quarter. It's 35-0 West Albany. Just underway here in the second, as South Albany will be back in possession here. And what more can you say? One-sided so far, 35-0 West.
Yeah, it really has been. And now a penalty on South Albany is going to back it up even more. The ball placed at their own 22 here. It's going to be first. It'll be 1st and 10 from that position, it appears. We were so busy scrambling trying to get this thing back online here that we missed some action, but Bulldogs with another touchdown. The Bulldogs leading this game 35-0.
It's going to be 1st and 10 for South Albany back at their own 22-yard line. Tibbett bobbled the snap, in trouble, rolling left, under pressure, trying to turn up on the far side, and will go out of bounds right around the 10-yard mark. A gain of a couple maybe for Tibbett outside, as he did a lot of running laterally. Just at the last moment was able to turn it up for maybe a yard or 2, if that.
Tanner Tibbett, the 6'1" and 200-pound senior quarterback. He's got some wheels. He's such a solid athlete there. Trying to get to the corner, but the Bulldogs with good pursuit, they're able to keep him from getting to the corner and turning it.
They're going to call it no gain. So 2nd down and 10. Tibbett again from the shotgun. Back to throw, off play action. Fires deep near side, had Gable and overthrew him. Gable was clear in the zone between Soto and Engel. The pass just a little bit overthrown. That was actually Shane Brown, number 20. There's a 28, which is Mitchell Gable. Then there's a 20, which is Shane Brown. And with the uniforms and where the crease falls, sometimes you can assume that's a 28. It was Shane Brown, the intended target.
Yeah, but the numbers on the South Albany uniforms so much easier to see now than those old uniforms that of the last couple of years. Really tough to spot, especially with the type of offense that they ran. It was very difficult to pick the ball up, pick up the numbers.
That scrum offense was deadly. As this pass is thrown up for grabs, incomplete, nobody home. JT Valenzuela was the closest to it on the far side. Another 3 and out for South Albany. Will have to punt from their own 22, trailing 35-0 with 11:40 to go in the first half.
Yeah, Bulldogs, Rebels, it's been hard times here in this game so far. They do have the wind at their back for this punt, as Valenzuela go back to receive this kick.
So Richard Plate will come on to punt it, standing inside his own 10. High snap. And not much pressure as Plate winds up going down, as the ball will roll into West Albany territory. No flag down, and Plate is down.
Yeah, there was no contact there. It looked like maybe he just twisted his knee. Won't speculate too much here, but it looked to me like maybe he twisted his knee.
Oh, and Plate really shaking up, throws the helmet in frustration, as there was not a whole lot of pressure initially. Tanner Gardner has come in clean a few times off the outside, but it did not look good. As soon as Plate hit the ground, he immediately reached for the leg, started rolling around, and now the training staff will be out to check on him. They certainly wish for the best for Richard Plate, 5'10", 178 senior.
Well, you don't like to see any injuries, Ryan, but that's just one of those that you just know is kind of a freak thing. It's kind of like last week with Devin Wade. No contact on that play, just wrong spot at the wrong time, twist wrong. There's a lot of stress on our muscles and tendons and bones in these kinds of contests, and Plate will hope that he's going to be okay here. But again, no contact there, but I think just came down wrong. It appeared to me that maybe it was his off leg too, that it wasn't his kicking leg, it wasn't the punting leg, but it was the off leg maybe as he came down after the punt.
I think you are right about that, as Richard Plate, the punter, went back and just a freak thing. No contact on the play, but Plate continuing to be tended to by the training staffs from both sides. And Caleb Emmons is the lone Rebel player back kneeling next to plate. Both teams have at least temporarily left the field. Ryan Holman, who's up here helping us set up the gear before the game, along with Ryan Murphy, was talking to me and discussing the injury to Devin Wade, and said one of the things he had seen was that sartorius muscle was fairly common for young athletes because the tendons are still growing in these young men, the growing bodies, and particularly for bigger players, those injuries are more prevalent. As Plate is helped to his feet and will be helped off the field, and a good sign is they don't have to bring out a stretcher or anything of that nature. Plate appeared to twist either the left knee or the left ankle, and he will be guided to the sideline.
We will continue to hope for the best for him as he gets some help getting off the field. Attended to West Albany training staff right out there, right on the money. Saw that going on and got out there right away, and we'll hope that he's going to be okay. You
can see the frustration on Plate immediately. He took the helmet off and spiked it into the ground. He is a senior, and anytime you see a significant injury, particularly now heading into the homeward stretch of the season, you worry about a season-ending injury, and you hope for the best for Plate. West Albany back to action. Lahoda's going to throw, and looking for Joe Birchfield. Underthrew him, incomplete. Birchfield had a step on the Rebel defense. Pass just thrown a little bit short.
Yeah, Coach Nyquist was just kind of working on some things with that. Birchfield was not thrown to at all last week. He had a number on that would allow him to receive a pass, primarily a blocker there. But that time goes out in the pattern and just a little bit underthrown by Lahoda. One that Lahoda, I'm sure, would like to have back because he had Birchfield open.
Provides another good target, does Joe Birchfield. 6'3", 200-pound sophomore. As Lahoda gives it to Jake Lacoste, accelerating left. Jake to midfield, to the corner of the 45, cuts back up at the 40, breaks a tackle at the 35, steamrolls a defender at the 30, and goes down to the 25-yard line. 30 more yards for Jake Lacoste on the run, and first down to the Rebel 25.
Boy, Gabe Curligan for South Albany, 5'8", 141-pound sophomore, got his introduction to Jake Lacoste right there. Was in a perfect position to tackle him. Ended up ultimately bringing him down, knocking him off balance, but Jake just lowered his head and leveled him.
That will put Jake at 2:15 with 11:08 to go in the first half. 35-0 West. Lacoste already with 4 touchdown runs. As Jackson Soto goes in motion left to right. They'll give it straight ahead to the fullback, Soot. And Soot, trying to soften the defense, will pick up about 3 to the 22. After that last carry by Jake Lacoste, would seem an opportune time to give a shout-out to my boss down in Eugene, Dan Lacoste. I know he's listening because he texted me when we went off the air. So hi to Dan and to Di, and he's just below us, Jeff says. So
can I say
hello
hi
down below?
Can I say hi to Dan, too? I never get to say hi to Dan.
Say hi to him.
Hi, Dan.
He's here.
Hi, Dan.
somewhere,
Hi, Di.
as Jeff says.
How's that raise working out that we negotiated on the air last week?
We'll ask him about that. Let's see if he comes up. We'll ask him. Second down and 7 at the 22. Hand off to Jake around the right side. Jake spun down after a short gain, maybe a half yard on the play. Tried to get off right tackle. Good pursuit around the Rebel defense. Clayton Sprinkle, the big man I mentioned earlier, in on the stop.
And what I like of it, that I saw in particular on this play, but I've seen throughout the game, a lot of West and South players helping each other up off the turf. Like to see that kind of sportsmanship going on, especially in a rivalry game like this.
And you do start to worry at this point when it's become one-sided that it maybe starts to get frustrating and a little bit chippy out there, but so far so good.
Yep, no doubt. I think a lot of respect between these two teams. These kids have been playing against each other and with each other in different sports for several years.
3rd and 6 at the 21. Give to Jake, trying to turn the corner on the left side. Does at the 15, at the 10, tiptoeing the sideline of the 5, and getting in for a touchdown. Tightrope back from Jake Lacoste for the score. 21 yards on his 5th touchdown of the first half.
Well, Jake Lacoste, what can you say? He not only has the power, Ryan, he's got the balance. How he could stay tiptoeing along that sideline and not go out is a mystery to me. Beautiful job of blocking, but a lot of speed to get to that corner. Jake Lacoste takes it to the house.
Matt Wiest on for the point after. Another spectacular night for Jake Lacoste, as Matt Wiest will try to make it 42-0. And out of the hold of Ben Engel with a lot of arc on the kick, he does make it 42-0 with 9:35 left in the first half. It's been all Bulldogs so far here in the Civil War on KSHO.
The mission of Now Builders is treat every job like it's their only job, no matter how big or small, and they don't stop until their customer is 100% satisfied 100% of the time. Check out their portfolio of fine work at nowbuilders.com. Call Now Builders at 541-926-2858.
Through September, Figaro's in Albany has the Santa Fe barbecue chicken. Tender cuts of chicken, dull pineapple, fresh onions, and sun-ripened tomatoes, all atop their signature barbecue sauce.
Unforgettable 920.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium at West Albany High School. Homecoming night looking very good for West Albany. They lead South Albany 42-0 with 9:35 to go in the first half. For over 50 years, Mega Foods has been offering the best quality and taste. More than just a supermarket, also a good neighbor. Mega Foods in Lebanon and in Albany. Well, Matt Wiest set to go again. The young man's going to have a very, very tired right leg. He's been busy kicking extra points and kicking off here in the first half.
Well, here's the test now. He's going into the wind. Let's see what he can do on this kick here.
He did it one prior time. There's Dan and Di down below, waving up. He did it one prior time, but we were still trying to get reconnected to Skype, so I couldn't tell you how deep it went, unfortunately. So now we will get to watch. 42-0. 5 first half touchdown runs for Jake Lacoste, better than 200 yards already. It's the 5th time already this season that he's gone for over 200 as Wiest started to approach, and before that it appeared West Albany got across the 40.
Say delay a game on a kickoff?
Delay of game on West Albany. Wow. Very rarely will you see that on a kick.
What's to delay? You watch the white hat, you see when he points to you or whistles or whatever. They whistle it in play, and then you've got an eternity.
So Wiest now has it teed at the 35 just to make things more difficult.
And won't be going deep with this.
No, a short approach and a directional kick. Very short up into the wind, and it just dies. Fielded at about the 38 of South Albany and taken back to the 45-yard line by Sean Van Nostren. It'll be 1st and 10 Rebels from their own 45. Best field position of the night for South.
Yeah, great starting position here for South Albany. The ball at their own 45-yard line here. It's West Albany defense. Their regulars in. Still got 9:32 to go here in the second. The Bulldogs with the 42-0 lead. And West defense here. They know with the wind at South Albany's back now, you know that Tippett's likely to drop back on and probably be maybe 80% pass from here on out. The Bulldogs still have to be on guard defensively here against the pass.
As Tanner Tibbett will bring his team up to the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10. Rebels from their own 45-yard line. Tibbett with Mealer to his left. 3 receivers stacked to the left. And Andrew Senda as a tight end. The give is to Mealer, and Mealer is crushed at the line of scrimmage. No gain. A lot of navy blue jerseys in there right at the point of attack. Nathan Clark up off the bottom of the pile.
Yeah, and that much improved South Albany offensive line. We've seen so far when Tippett's dropping back to pass, they're giving him some protection. But right now, the defensive line for West Albany really having their way with the offensive line of South.
Tibbett back to throw, rolling left, buying time, throwing deep, and has a man, Webb, inside the 40 and out of bounds. Trent Webb with a very, very late flag. Webb is inside the Bulldog 40 near the 35, and that flag would appear to give him 15 more.
Yeah, and I don't know what that is unless there was an extra little nudge there at the end of the play by the West Albany player. We didn't see the South Albany player go flying, but that's a long way away from us here, Ryan. That flag came in right away, but right at the end of the play.
The officials will discuss it and reveal that it is a personal foul against West Albany, a little extracurricular after the push out of bounds. So this will take it down to the 20 of the Bulldogs, and it will be 1st and 10 Rebels. Exactly 9 minutes to go in the first half. West Albany leading 42-0. But South is knocking on the door here, thanks to a very short kickoff into the wind, a nice pass play, and then the 15-yard penalty. It's Tibbett with Mealer to his right. He had a spread formation, 2 receivers each side. Whistled in, Tibbett quickly set, takes a snap, back to throw, throws a screen, near side. It's caught by Brown, and Brown shakes one tackle, gets to the 19. A pickup of about a yard, good pursuit by Roos, and then Ben Engel for West Albany to keep that to a short game.
Yeah, nice safe pass by Tibbett, but only one blocker out in front of the receiver there, and Bulldogs brought 3 in pursuit. Blocker got one of them taken care of, but the Bulldogs did a nice job of containing there, only a gain of 1.
2nd down and 9. South Albany right hash mark from the Bulldog 19. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Tibbett back to throw. Under pressure, wanting to set a screen. Rolls left, good pump fake to elude Soot. Still rolling for his life. Back under pressure, in trouble, shakes another defender on the far sideline, and will go out of bounds. It'll be a loss on the play of about 7, but Tibbet a couple of very nice moves to avoid really getting popped.
He broke my ankles up here on a couple of those moves. Wow, what an athlete he is. But a nice job to avoid the pursuit of the West Albany defenders there until he got pinned against his own sideline on the far side. Wasn't able to take it any further.
A loss of 8 back to the 27. It's going to be 3rd down and 17 for South Albany from the Bulldog 27. We're going to get whistles and a timeout taken by West Albany. With 8:18 to go in the first half, 42-0 West. We'll keep it here during the timeout, so I can say a belated happy birthday. It's only about a day late to Rich Engel, our favorite athletic director. Birthday this week. And a happy birthday to Rich, and a thanks again for all that he's done for us, including getting this nice press box for us to sit in here at West Albany.
Isn't that the truth? Very comfortable digs here for us, and happy birthday to Rich.
8:18 to go first half. Again, 42-0 West Albany. If you mention this ad from Going Postal, you'll receive 10% off your UPS or FedEx shipments. In North Albany's Hickory Station, your friendly neighborhood shipping center, Going Postal, offering UPS, FedEx, and U.S. Postal Services. Big weekend of football starting here tonight with the Civil War in Albany. Tomorrow in Corvallis at 3 p.m. Washington State takes on undefeated and 14th ranked Oregon State. And then at 7:30 down in Eugene, battle of 2 ranked teams. 23rd ranked Washington against the also undefeated and number 2 ranked Oregon Ducks. You can hear the Duck game on our sister station, 1580 KGAL. Jerry Allen, Mike Jorgensen with the call. 7:30 kick from Eugene, 3 p.m. from Corvallis. And if you're on I-5, get off. It's not going to be fun tomorrow. As Tibbet back to throw on 3rd and 17 out of the timeout. Fires deep, looking end zone and incomplete with a flag down. And much to the chagrin of the Bulldog fans below us, they're going to call a Bulldog defensive back for a penalty here. Whether it's a hold or interference remains to be seen.
I think it has to be a hold because the receiver was still the who we think was the intended receiver was running away from where that pass was going. I don't think they could necessarily say, but I think it has to be a hold.
Well, they will call it interference. See Mike Sorum down on the Bulldog sideline putting the hand over his head saying uncatchable. That ball was well over the head of Shane Brown.
But Coach Nyquist having that conversation as well.
Now, I don't think it'll raise the blood pressure too much with the score, but you would have been in a 4th down and 17 back at the 37-yard line. Instead, it's a 1st down and 10 for South Albany from the Bulldog 13.
And they aren't moving the sticks, and I'm trying to figure this out, whether it's a 1st and 4, but with the pass interference, doesn't it make that an automatic 1st down?
Well, I thought it did. The discussion here is what the down is going to be. As they're motioning 1st down, it should be 1st and 10, and it is. They were still saying that there were 3 yards to gain for the 1st down, but it is automatic 1st down in the interference. There's no question. 1st and 10 from the 13 of West Albany. 8:14 to go in the first half with a 42-0 Bulldog lead. Backs split in the backfield with Tibbet, who goes back to throw. Straight drop, firing, and pass is deflected, incomplete. Tipped right at the line. Batted back in his face. I don't know. There were a couple Bulldogs in the area. Didn't see who got the hand on it. But Steely Smith and Tanner Gardner were the closest.
Yeah, and Brendan Breslin in there too. I think that I'm not going to speculate which one of those, but somebody got their hand up. Nice job at the line of scrimmage. Going to be 2nd down and 10.
2nd and 10. Tibbet again with the running backs split behind him. 2 receivers right and 1 left. He will give it inside to Mealer. Mealer will claw his way to the 11 for 2. It's going to bring up 3rd down and long for South Albany. No running room so far for the Rebels.
Yeah, defensive front for the Bulldogs has really been winning the battle at the line of scrimmage. And nice job there as Steely Smith and Brendan Breslin get a little bit of a break. Boyd in and Zumwalt in for them.
3rd and 8 from the 11 of West. Tibbet out of the shotgun, back to throw. Quick throw is caught at the 5, but dropped immediately as Andrew Senda. First reception for Senda, and Joey Roos, a sure tackle, just short of the 1st down. They'll spot it at the 4, where it'll be 4th down and 1 for South Albany, and trailing 42-0. You figure it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, it is a no-brainer, and South Albany has to go here. You've got 7:22 to go, and you're down 42-0. They're going for it.
So 4th down and short, the Bulldog defense trying to improbably hold. The ball at the Bulldogs 4, 4th and 1. Tibbet going to roll to his right, trying to tuck it up, and he will have a 1st down. He will have a touchdown. Tanner Tibbet able to sneak it in from 4 yards out to put the Rebels on the board with 7:05 to go in the first half. Tanner Tibbett, a 4-yard touchdown run. It's 42-6 West Albany.
Aided by a couple of penalties, Ryan, but really a very effective drive there by South Albany as they were able to get the touchdown on Tibbett's legs right there. Great effort by Tibbett there. Looked like they were going to have him stop, still having first down yardage, but looked like maybe they're going to have him at about the 3. Leaves his feet, dives for the end zone, and gets 6.
Tyler Taylor on to try the point after for South Albany out of the hold of Tanner Tibbett. Snap, and the kick is blocked. Blocked as flying around the outside was J.T. Valenzuela, and he snuffs it out. So South gets in the end zone. The extra point is blocked, and with 7:05 to go in the first half, it's now West Albany 42. It's South Albany 6. We'll take a break and come back to KSHO.
The short drive to Corvallis will save you time and money. This is Steve Buckner from Wilson Motors, inviting you to experience the notable difference at Wilson Motors, 5th and Buchanan in Corvallis. Check us out at saveatwilson.com.
Making life easier and more productive, that's what Lynn Benton Tractor can do for you. And it all begins by discovering how the full line of Kubota equipment can help.
We're still doing business the American way.
Highway 99E Tangent.
Unforgettable 920.
Back at West Albany High School, 7:05 to go in the first half, 42-6 West Albany. I want to bring up that coming up at the half, we will have a deserved mention of the other fall sports teams for West Albany. I deliberately wait for a couple of weeks until we start getting closer to the playoffs and more of the season has taken place, but Wally has compiled a little rundown of the fall sports and one very, very special team that we're not seeing here tonight, but that you saw this week, the girls volleyball team.
Yeah, we're gonna give some love at halftime to the West Albany girls volleyball team, ranked number 20 in the country,
in the nation. Yes, we'll talk about them more at halftime. Tyler Taylor with the kick. Hits at the 15. Valenzuela on one hop at the 13. Hits the 20 at the 25-30 with a little bit of space at the 35. Near sideline 40, 45, midfield and into Rebel territory before he's bounced out of bounds. Nick Smith was able to force Valenzuela out of bounds, but that's the electricity that you can see from J.T. Valenzuela when he touches it. Good return into Rebel territory, 1st and 10. They'll spot him out at the 44.
Had a bunch of blockers in front of him, too. Found a great wedge just on this near side. Usually you think of the wedge, it's going to happen in midfield, but he breaks out to the outside. Had a great seam of blockers in front of him. Takes it for great yards. Bulldogs in business here with great field position at the 44 of South Albany.
Well, one thing, at least for the time being, that touchdown from South Albany puts it further away from the running clock, which we were rapidly approaching. If the margin gets to 45, you start to see the running clock. It now is back to 36. As Lahota under center with Soto in motion. Cody gives it to Jake. Rolling right, cutting up the middle. Jake at the 40. Jake to the 35. Breaks the tackle. There he goes at the 25-20. At the 15-10 with a block, and he's in. Touchdown, West. Jake has done it again. His 6th touchdown of the night. It's 48-6 West Albany. One play, 44 more yards.
Beautiful run by Jake. Nice little weave there. Knight plants his foot, breaks out to the outside, and then takes it the rest of the way. Buck Trulove did a great job getting down there and blocking in front of him, too. Buck Trulove, the center. I tell you, what a great job of blocking for the Bulldogs. Get out there in front, and Jake does the rest with his legs.
I don't know that Jake will get an opportunity because of the one-sided score in this game, but he's already up to 281. As Matt Oist will put this one through, it's 49-6. I was going to say an opportunity to perhaps best his game from last year. He's on pace to eclipse his 508 last year against Silverton. 281 after that touchdown. Number 6 in the first half, 49-6 West. We'll take a break and return to KSHO.
If you'd like to do it yourself or need helpful advice doing it, your neighborhood Ace Hardware and Contractor Center can help. Economy Supply Building Center has been that helpful place for over 58 years. Economy Supply Building Center, where Highway 34 becomes Tangent Street in Lebanon.
Need some electrical work in your home or business, but it just seems like too small of a job to call the pros? No matter what the job, call City and Suburban Electric. Proud to be a contributing member of our community. City and Suburban Electric. Call 451-5609.
Unforgettable 920.
This is Tom Gerner at the KSHO Sports Desk. Over at Lebanon at the half, Silverton is up on the Warriors 14-6. Back to Ryan and Wally at West Albany.
Thank you, Tom. It's Tom Garner back at the sports desk there at KSHO Studios. Off to the east. Silverton only up 8 on Lebanon, very much within range for the Warriors. We wish them well. Bulldogs have to become fans, I guess, both of Silverton and whomever they play the remainder of the season. It's kind of strange. For the power rankings, you root for Silverton. If you want a league championship, you root for whoever Silverton plays. As Shane Brown on the return of the Matt Weiss kick will take it back to about the 26-yard line. The Rebels will take it back with 6:39 to go, still in the first half. Another marathon night here, 49-6 West Albany. A lot of points in the first half. And Wally, of note, those 281 yards for Jake Lacoste on just 14 carries here tonight.
Yeah, the average will be. I don't want to try and do the math. I'm not a numbers guy. That's your
it's a shade over 20.
It's over 20 yards per carry. Jake Lacoste having himself a night.
14 carries and 6 touchdowns. Not a bad ratio. When you're getting in the end zone almost 43% of the time you touch the ball, you're having a very, very good night.
Yes, you are.
It's Tanner Tibbett out of the shotgun. 2 running backs with him. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Shane Brown out of the backfield in motion. The give goes to Mealer straight ahead. Mealer breaks 1 tackle, not the second, as several Bulldogs will pounce on him. Brian Garcia actually went in the air to come down on top of Brown. Gain of about 4, as he'll give him progress to the 30. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
Yeah, right now that defensive front for the Bulldogs is really getting the job done. Everybody's staying home. They're just kind of stacking things up there, waiting for the carrier to get to them. Nice job there. Hold South Albany just a 3-yard gain.
And the Bulldog defense has been very, very good here tonight against a Rebel offense that had scored 40 points or more 4 times this season. Tibbett back to throw, fires in the middle, incomplete, off the fingertips of Webb. As Trent Webb knew he was going to get popped. Joey Roos was there with Gabe Stone. I think it was Stone who was able to pop it free. Incomplete, 3rd and 6 for South.
I'll tell you, Ryan, it takes some bravery to go in there like that. And Webb, you're right, he knew he was going to get popped. It's a dangerous spot to try and receive a pass and not able to hang on. But I tell you, that's a brave young man to go that crossing route like that inside all. That's enemy territory right there.
Trips right for Tibbett on 3rd and 6. Tanner back to throw, looking left, under pressure, and down he goes. Gabe Stone and Carson French back there. The ball came free. I think they'll mark him down. A sack on the play, give a half to Stone, a half to French, and the Rebels are going to be punting again here with 5:45 to go in the half.
Well, you could tell Coach Brian Mell, for the defense coordinator for the Bulldogs, his philosophy in this game was to bring the heat and bring it often and try and make Tanner Tibbett uncomfortable there in the pocket. Especially here in the second quarter, the Bulldogs really have been able to do that, and the offensive line just hasn't been able to hold all the horses that are coming through that line, and they're able to get quite a bit of pressure on Tibbett.
Caleb Evans will punt, and a low spiral. It will hit at the 40, roll across the 45, picked up by Valenzuela on the sideline, and JT will take it inside the 45 to the 42, about a 5-yard return. As the ball had rolled, I'm going to call it a 29-yard punt, 5 on the return. West Albany again with great field position at the Rebel 42. 1st and 10, 5:14 to go in the first half, and a 49-6 lead for West Albany. For any occasion, you can enjoy a complete, affordable family dining experience at Cascade Grill. That's on Knox Butte Road in Albany, the Cascade Grill. Well, who's going to get the ball here? I bet you it's going to be Lacoste, as Jake. No, they'll play fake it to him and roll right. Lahota looking downfield, has Breslin who goes up, makes the catch, and there goes Breslin at the 15 and the 10, at the 5, and he's in for a touchdown. Are you kidding me? 55-6 West Albany. Again, a 1-play drive. Breslin made the catch, broke away for a score. 42 yards, and the Bulldogs are on the board again.
One of those risk-reward plays by the defense there, as the defender looked like he had a shot at bringing that ball in, but took a chance, made a break on the ball, just trying to make a play. That didn't quite get to it. Breslin able to make the catch and take it the rest of the way. There was nobody in front of it.
55-6 West Albany. Matt Weiss for the point after, looking to make it 8 for 8. He does. With 5:04 to go in the first half, it is West Albany 56 and South Albany 6. We'll take a break and come back here to 920 KSHO.
Lassen RV at Albany has the new RV models on the lot now, ready for you to buy. Lassen RV Service Department has a new truckload of parts and accessories on sale just in time for fall fix-up. From changing a light bulb to rebuilding your entire RV. No job is too big or too small for Lassen RV in Albany, where friends send their friends.
Join the fun at the Albany Athletic Club. Group fitness classes from low-impact dance to traditional circuit training, plus racquetball and more. Watch your waistline shrink and your health improve every day. Start now at the Albany Athletic Club on Hickory next to Tom's Garden Center.
920 KSHO.
Back here at Memorial Stadium, first half, 5:04 to go in the first half, and it's 56-6 West Albany. An offensive explosion unlike really any that we've seen, and I'm including that 75-0 win over Ashland a couple years ago in the playoffs. 56-6. The Bulldogs well over 400 yards of total offense here in the first half, and a little pooch kick, which is fielded at the 35 and blasted at the 35 is Nick Smith. And fortunately, everybody gets up okay. That's a scary play on special teams. Ball high in the air. Smith could have fair caught it, did not, and paid the price at his own 35. Rebels will take it. 1st and 10, 5:01 to go first half.
Yeah, that's one where you just hope that nobody's going to end up getting hurt. The wind held that up, and I think the receiver there didn't probably catch on. He was as close to the defenders as he was as Roos came through and lowered the boom, and everybody gets up just fine.
Again, I think, Wally, my eyes deceived me. 24, Gabe Kurligan was the one who received the kick, not Nick Smith, who is 34. Time for glasses, maybe, for me? I don't know. Tibbett out of the shotgun, gives it to Mealer straight ahead. Mealer fighting to the 39. A pickup of 4 on first down for Dallas Mealer.
Mealer, 5'7", 140 pounds, but plays bigger than that. I tell you, you could tell he's strong. He's got strong legs, just not very big. Getting a lot of carries in this game, though.
2nd down and 6, South Albany from their own 39. Coming down on 4.5 to go in the first half. Tibbett gives it again to Mealer. Mealer in the middle into the scrum, and not much room. Mealer will be thrown backwards after a gain of a couple. Spot him at the 40, maybe the 41. And the Bulldogs signaling their ball, and they have it. Out of that scrum, West Albany recovered a fumble. So a massive humanity at the 40-yard line, and once they all unpile, they say West Albany ball on the fumble. And the Bulldogs will have it again at the Rebel 40, leading 56-6 with 4:25 to go in the first half.
We didn't see the ball hit the carpet, but you could see a little bit of a scrum there, and the Bulldogs indicating they had it. I didn't believe them. The referee indicated, yes, West Albany ball. And kind of an unsettling situation we've got developed here, Ryan. And you know, Coach Nyquist has zero desire to run the score up on South Albany. Zero desire. I know this man. He does not want to do that. But he's got to let his starters play throughout the first half. You know that he's going to, and that's what he's done.
And Lahota is going to throw on first down. Wide open in the middle of Soto. He makes the catch and spins to the 25-yard line. A pickup of 15 on first down. And you start to get into some of what we saw up in Woodburn, where the Woodburn fans got upset. The Bulldogs were throwing with the big lead. But this, again, is working your playbook. You're still in the first half. You can't start taking knees with 4:17 to go in the first half.
Yeah, it's a very difficult position. It's kind of a sensitive position to be in here. We sit up here and hope that 4:12 goes really fast on the clock, but West Albany, they're in business here with the ball at the South Albany 25.
Lahota again will roll to throw under pressure, tucks it and runs, looks to bounce outside, can still throw if he wants to, and is finally going to go down after a loss of a couple. Back to about the 27-yard line. A lot of dancing from Cody Lahota. So he shows some elusiveness. He had the nice run earlier where he lateraled to Jake Lacoste for a touchdown, and that was some nimble footwork. Winds up as a loss of 2. It'll be 2nd and 12.
Yep, and then he's got to come all the way across the field to get the play from Coach Nyquist. I think he thought maybe Coach Nyquist would send the play in with somebody because he had to come from the far side. We might see a timeout here because they whistled it into play, but Bulldogs taking quite a bit of time to get this play out of the huddle.
See if Cody has enough oxygen just to signal in the play in the huddle. So he'll go under center on 2nd and 12 from the South Albany 27. Soto settles on the left side of the formation. The give is to Matt Soot, the fullback. Soot up the middle, dragging a defender inside the 20, close to the 19. A pickup of about 8 on the play for Matt. It'll be 3rd down and short.
Yeah, I like the play call there, and just running it up the gut, just keep softening things up there, but take a little bit of pressure off Jake Lacoste. Matt Soot with a nice carry there is going to bring up 3rd and about 4.
3rd and 4 with the ball at the Rebel 19. 2:45 to go in the first half. 56-6. West Albany with the lead. As a first half where the Bulldogs have just had their way offensively. They've done, quite honestly, whatever they have wanted to do. And with a 3rd down and 4 from the Rebel 19, right hash mark, Lahota will go under center with 2 receivers left. Lahota rolling, pitches it to Jake. Jake at the 20, accelerated to the 15. Again, tight ropes the sidelines and goes out of bounds near the 10-yard line. He'll have a 1st down and another very late flag. We've seen a couple come in well after the play. The flag is back at the 17-yard line. Jake went out of bounds at the 10, so something that happened well behind the play.
Boy, and I was trying to pick up a number, and because I was going to talk about Jackson Soto's block that really sprung him there at the end. I'm not sure what this might be, but it was well after the play that this flag was thrown.
Well, the Bulldogs are walking backwards. Personal foul, West Albany, they say. Randy Nyquist wants an explanation. As I think he's wondering the same thing we are. Who in the world committed the penalty? Because the flag is way back at the 17. And Randy, he's still working hard here. His team's up 50, and he's in the face of the official down there on the sideline.
Well, here's the deal. That's at least your 2nd and possibly your 3rd personal foul of the game. We're not so sure that there have been any, but they've been very late, and they've been what appear to be real ticky-tack fouls, flags that have been thrown, and it's one of those situations. I think Coach Nyquist is just being diligent in defending. It's kind of like when a basketball coach wants to get a technical to defend his player on the court, and I think that's what we're seeing from Coach Nyquist.
So it becomes 3rd down and 17 now, back at the Rebel 32, and Lahota will go back to throw, rolling right, throws in the flat, caught by Breslin, got a lot of work to do to get to the sticks, and Breslin will go down well short of the 1st down. About 8 yards shy, a gain of 9 on the play.
See, and I think Coach Nyquist, if he hadn't gotten it after that last play, I think that he probably would have gone for a field goal, even though it's going into the wind. I think now he's going to go for it here. No change of personnel, and I think this is the right call.
You got in no man's land.
Yeah, he is in no man's land, and you're certainly not going to punt from here. And so people will say, okay, going for it on 4th down, you got a 50-point lead, but it's what he has to do.
4th and 9. Lahota back to throw. Fires deep. Has Breslin, who goes up and makes the catch for the touchdown. Breslin does it again. Another acrobatic catch for Brendan on a 4th down and 9. 24 yards. Now, there is a flag down again. This is back at the 29. Cody Lahota wanted an explanation. And it's going to be personal foul, South Albany, and he waved it off. First, he signaled to West. It's on South. The touchdown will stand. 24 yards. Lahota to Breslin. That's the 3rd time they've hooked up for a score in the 1st half. And it's an unbelievable 62-6 West Albany lead with 1:34 to go in the 1st half.
Yeah, it's becoming an uncomfortable lead. But the white hat throws that flag there very late again in that play, and I'm not sure. Maybe it was a little skirmish between Lahota and somebody rushing him. I'm just not sure if they called it unsportsmanlike or called the personal foul both ways. The touchdown stands. The Bulldogs trying to make this a 63-6 lead.
Yeah, just to clarify, it wasn't an offsetting penalty. It was first he signaled it against West Albany. It was actually against South Albany. It was declined.
Okay. I got
puts the point after through, and with 1:34 to go in the 1st half, West Albany 63 and South Albany 6. We'll take a break and return here to KSHO.
You will come out a winner at Power Honda. Their talented staff will show you how easy it is to get the vehicle you want and the payment you need. Check out mypowerhonda.com. Call 928-0122 or just go in to Power Honda, Highway 20 east of I-5 in Albany, your Honda Superstore.
Albany Burgerville is celebrating 50 years of serving customers fresh, great-tasting food with a mission to serve with love. Pick up a Burgerville card now and earn rewards cash for every dollar spent. See store for details. Stop by Burgerville after the game. Order a famous Tillamook cheeseburger. Open 7 a.m. to midnight Fridays.
Unforgettable 920.
We are back here with 1:34 to go in the 1st half. West Albany 63 and South Albany 6. Now, there's always an understanding when we do these Civil War games. We are contracted to cover the West Albany side. We root heavily for West Albany during the season. We root for South Albany every week of the year, and I can say that with 100% honesty, except for this one. We can't root for South because it's our duty to root for West. We hope it doesn't become too one-sided, but we're calling it like it is here tonight, and it's 63-6. There's not a lot else you can say.
Yeah, it's unsettling for us, and we both have friends that are South Albany boosters. We are avid South Albany supporters throughout the season, and this is it's an unfortunate circumstance here. The Bulldogs with this huge 1st half lead, And I find myself in these situations being very uncomfortable, being a South Albany supporter as well.
Sure.
But West Albany is just they're getting the job done, and we're calling it like we see it on the field, and hope that nobody takes offense at our broadcast.
And the bottom line is that you really have to tout what West Albany has done in the first half. It's been unbelievable. As after that personal foul, Matt Weiss kicking on the Rebel side from the 45 puts it in the end zone again. So with 1:34 to play in the first half, South Albany will take it from their own 20. When we begin the third quarter, it will be running clock, so the second half will go very quickly. We saw that up at Woodburn when West Albany had built the 49-0 halftime lead and cruised to 49-13 win. Or a 56, rather. It was 56-0 West Albany. Here it's 63-6 with 1:34 to go in the half. Tanner Tibbett out of shotgun from his own 20. Mealer to his left and three receivers staggered out to the left. They'll give it to Mealer, trying right tackle, and Mealer again is down with no room. Gabe Stone, Nathan Clark, Hiram Crook all in on the stop for West, the three linebackers who have done a very, very nice job all year for the Bulldogs.
Got a chance to say hi to a couple of people here. Keith Rohrbaugh is listening to the broadcast tonight. Friend Keith, local Albany attorney extraordinaire. Say hi to Keith, and after this play, I'll mention somebody else.
Tibbett out of the shotgun again, gives to Mealer. Mealer a little bit of a crease as he'll hit the 25. A pickup of 5. Under a minute now here in the first half, as it's going to be 3rd down and 5 for South from their own 25.
Number 59, Nathan Dagan, 5'9", 243-pound offensive lineman with a really nice block to open up that hole for Mealer.
South taking their time, getting the signal in from the sideline. On 3rd and 5 from their own 25, 38 seconds and running to go here in the first half. Tibbett gives again to Mealer. Mealer cutting it back, and we'll have the first down as Mealer takes it to the 30. Good enough for a Rebel first down, so it'll stop the clock temporarily with 30.7 to go in the first half.
Becky and Troy Williams listen to the broadcasts, Ryan, and very religiously when they aren't here at the stadium. They might be here, but have a feeling maybe they're at home listening. Becky and Troy Williams. Becky works with my wife, Renee, who is here at the game tonight. Becky, my wife, Becky. My wife, Renee, and stepdaughter, Melissa, here at the game.
Oh, Tibbett throwing deep, has a man wide open. It's Gable, and Gable is going to take this one all the way to the end zone. Touchdown, South. It's Brown. Again, it's Brown. 20. That crease in the uniform's killing me. Brown 20 with the touchdown, 70 yards, and a Rebel score with 7 seconds to go in the first half.
Yeah, a really nice route run and got behind the defense there. They kind of forgot about him, and boy, I tell you, Tip put it right on the money there, put it right on the numbers, hits him in stride and takes it the rest of the way. Brown does for the touchdown. Nice job by the Rebels there. Great pass route run. Nice run after the catch, and they get into the end zone.
And South will go for 2 here with just under 8 seconds to go in the first half. 63-12, West Albany, and Tanner Tibbett lines him up for 2. Gable and Brown off to the left, and it's Trent Webb to the right. It's Tibbett back to throw, pressure coming, fires, end zone incomplete, and the 2-point conversion attempt off the fingertips of Brown. The 2-point try fails, and with 7.8 to go in the first half, it's now West Albany 63, South Albany 12. We'll take a timeout and come back here to 920 KSHO.
A first-class 24/7 fitness facility, always open with keyless access where safety is paramount. That's Snap Fitness of Albany, where they offer free classes of yoga, Pilates, and Zumba with each membership. Check out Snap Fitness's new gym, now on Hickory Street in North Albany.
Albany Grocery Outlet Bargain Market across from the Heritage Mall has Senior Day, the first Tuesday of every month. $2 off every purchase of $15 or more. Albany Grocery Outlet Bargain Market. 100% satisfaction guaranteed across from the Heritage Mall with bargains on the brands you trust.
Unforgettable 920.
Welcome back here to West Albany High School. Ryan Pitts, Wally Ordeman, and Jeff Kiter. Homecoming night here at West. You couldn't script it any better if you're a Bulldog fan. 63-12. As South Albany will be kicking off after their second touchdown of the first half. A 70-yard touchdown strike from Tanner Tibbett to Shane Brown, and a beautifully thrown ball right in stride for Brown, who took it all the way to the end zone. For new and used foreign and domestic auto parts, choose B&R Auto Wrecking. You can just log on to autowrecking.com, and remember, if you own a truck or car, think B&R.
Nicely done.
Thank you. try to get these out of the way because, like I say, in the second half, when we go to running clock, there's not going to be a lot of time for breaks or for card reads. So we get those done while we can. Tyler Taylor will be kicking away for South. Valenzuela deep for West. Anthony Thompson is the up man. Valenzuela, the only deep man standing around his own 4-yard line. As we'll get a flag. Is this going to be a delay again?
Are you kidding
No,
me?
the ball. Well, he's coming out to check the ball. I was going to say maybe the ball would come off the tee. Nope, delay of game. South Albany. Are you kidding me? 2 times in one night. A delay of game on the kickoff. Somebody's not communicating well down there because we never see that call. We've seen it twice in about the last 20 minutes.
We'll talk about a victimless crime.
Sure.
I mean, leave the hanky in your pocket, Stripes. Are you kidding me?
Oh, boy. So Taylor will kick it from his own 35 with the approach, and he will squib it as it will be taken by Brian Garcia on a knee at his own 37. 6.1 seconds to go here in the first half. Now the Bulldog offense back out onto the field, see if they run a play or take a knee here. Ben Engel is going to be the one taking the snap, it would appear, getting signals from Randy Nyquist. So Cody LaHoda, a very neat first half, and he's done with 6.1 seconds to play.
Yeah, and I would hope that they would take a knee here and just go on in. I would think that that's what they will do. Ben Engel, though, hasn't gotten a lot of snaps on the season, and you want to give him some experience. I think we'll see a lot of Engel at quarterback here in the second half, but we'll see what they do. We can only speculate from here.
But we do not see Jake Lacoste as his night presumably done with the big lead. Anthony Thompson is the running back, and Ben Engel will run an option, keeping it at the 40, at the 45, and tumbling to the 47. Very close to a first down as the horn will sound, the siren will sound, and the first half will end. Halftime here at West Albany High School. It's the Bulldogs 63, the Rebels 12. We'll take a timeout and return to 920 KSHO.
Now is the time to buy a car at Mark Thomas Motors. 4 generations in the auto business and here to stay. Mark Thomas Motors is big on supporting local events. 3 locations in Albany, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Hyundai, GMC, Buick, Pontiac. Now is the time to buy a car at Mark Thomas Motors in Albany.
Just like the Bulldogs, Courtesy Corner Shell gives you everything they have every time you drive in. Fast and friendly service, windows always clean. Non-ethanol fuels for small engines, boats, and vintage cars available. You can't beat Courtesy Corner Shell near Queen on Pacific Boulevard. They'll be happy to see you.
Lynn Lane's in Lebanon, home of the best burger in town.
The place to bowl is Lynn Lane's Bowling Center on South Main Road in Lebanon. And the people are real nice. And the Head Pin Restaurant, I'd go there even if the bowling alley wasn't attached.
Good family fun. Bowling.
Hi, I'm Dave Wood, President and CEO of Willamette Community Bank. We are proud to support our local high school sports, music, and scholastic programs. Be part of the team and get behind our schools and our future leaders. Willamette Community Bank. Service like no other. We promise. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Unforgettable 920.
This is Tom Gerner at the KSHO Sports Desk. I have some scores for you. In the second quarter, Churchill is up on Willamette 17-0. Wilson is whooping on Hood River Valley 34-0 also in the second. Putnam over Liberty 35-0 in the second. Mountain View up on Pendleton 28-0 in the second. In North Eugene, it's Ashland over North Eugene 21-0 in the second. Sherwood up on Park Rose 35-0 in the second. St. Helens up on Sandy up on St. Helens 10-7 in the second. Bend over Summit 20-7 in the second. Ridgeview over the Dalles 8-0. That's still in the first. Wilsonville over Milwaukee 13-6. A final from yesterday. It was Hermiston 42 over Southridge of Washington 13. We'll go into the Mid-Willamette Conference. In the third quarter, Silverton is up on Lebanon 14-6, but Lebanon's holding on. That's in the third quarter. Dallas up on Woodburn 14-7 in the second. Crescent Valley over Corvallis 17-0. And, of course, over at West Albany High School, the Bulldogs are leading the Rebels 63-12 at the half. Now let's send it back over to West Albany High School, huh?
Yeah, I appreciate that, Tom. It is halftime here at West Albany. Ryan Pitts, Wally Ordeman, and Jeff Kiter. If you're a Bulldog fan, you've certainly enjoyed what you've heard in the first half. 63-12, West Albany with the lead. Doing essentially whatever they want on offense. We'll have the numbers here with Jeff Kiter in a little bit, but 6 touchdown runs for Jake Cost, 3 touchdown passes from Cody LaHoda to Brendan Breslin. Total offensive yards that I'm not sure I can calculate. It's got to be close to 500 as West Albany is dominated, Wally.
Oh, it's just been it's really been something. And what do you say about this West Albany, this juggernaut that is West Albany offense? You know, they came into this game with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder after the loss last week at Silverton. I know that West Albany was disappointed. I think they felt like they had some things to prove on the offensive side of the ball, and really got the job done. They did everything that Coach Nyquist would hope that they would be able to do, and they're running the ball effectively. They're passing the ball effectively. 3 touchdowns to Brendan Breslin in the game so far, and you know, really it's just been an all-around great game for the Bulldogs. Defensively, the Bulldogs have made the stops on the ground. Very few yards gained on the ground by South Albany tonight. West can be proud of the job that their up front, their front four, has done against the run, really neutralizing what South wants to do in the running game. The one big play through the air by South Albany, really the Bulldog defense has done a great job tonight.
I have to give our nightly shout out to the Cape Wonder, John Birchfield, who really embodies, I think, what a pep leader should be. John has the old school Bulldog basketball shorts, the cape flowing in the wind here tonight, and gave him a cookie for his efforts. So thank again Gabe Stone's mom, Lynette, who brought us the peanut butter, the thumbprint cookies with the Hershey's Kiss in them, and to the Smiths, who brought us the peanut butter cookies. Sometimes I think we're going to go into diabetic shock at some point during the season, but for us, it's worth it as the Bulldogs hold a 63-12 halftime lead. Wally, we'll have Jeff in a little bit with stats. We can talk more about the first half, but I think maybe a little bit past due in talking about what's going on with some of the other fall sports at West Albany. Just as a spoiler here, and there's a Bulldog team on the field tonight that we think is incredibly talented, the football team. But there's a team elsewhere for West this fall that is doing things on a national scale that need a mention.
Yeah, the West Albany girls volleyball team has just been absolutely amazing on the season. They come in after this week. They're 17-0 after beating the rival South Albany Rebels earlier in the week, coached by Kelly Baker. And when you look at it, they're obviously number 1 in the power rankings at 5A, but they're ranked Max Preps has them ranked number 20 in the nation.
Unreal.
This is a team that last weekend played a state preview tournament against some of the 6A powers and won that tournament as well. They are really, really something. OSAA number 1, Max Preps number 20 in the nation. Summit is number 2. Summit, I believe, who won the state championship last year. The West Albany losing to Summit, I believe, in the state championship last year. Summit's number 2 right now in the power rankings. West Albany's already beaten them twice on the season. The next closest team, Corvallis High School, CHS, is number 9 in the power rankings, and West Albany has beaten them already 3 straight games. So congratulations to the West Albany volleyball team. They're creating a lot of excitement. We went to that volleyball game earlier in the week. The student section was outstanding. I mean, the students have gotten behind this volleyball team. The community has, and congratulations to them. It's created quite a buzz in the community, not just this football team, but now the volleyball team certainly is certainly front and center. You know, there are some other teams that are having some success. How about the water polo team? And very timely that John Birchfield would be sitting here. John, one of the captains of the boys water polo team, 19-1. Their only loss coming against 6A powerhouse Newburgh. Captains of that team, John Birchfield, Josh Bryan, and Travis Cox. So congratulations to them. 19-1 so far on the season. How about the girls' side? 17-2.
Wow.
Their only loss is coming to Newburgh as well, ×2. Captains Amanda Kitchen and Alex Glenn. The water polo team's really getting it done. Several state championships at the 5A level now for both the boys and girls water polo teams. Cross country, the district preview race last week. The girls, West Albany girls, were 4th. The boys were 6th. I'm going to run through some names of the cross country runners. For the girls, Ann Christensen, Emma Latta, Katie Higginbotham, Haley Bergdorf, Carissa Renier, Sarah Stavros, and Madeline Thwaite. For the boys, Austin Smith, Dylan Riles, Abram Richmond, Riles Henry, Kevin Teagan, Reese Larrabee, and Ben Hauser for the West Albany cross-country teams. Soccer, how about the girls? 3-3-1. Coach Eric Ide, 1-0 in conference, have a victory in conference over Silverton earlier this week. Just getting started with the conference season. The boys, I'm running out of breath.
You're doing great.
The boys 4-1-2 so far on the season. Their one loss coming as a result of a default's the wrong word.
Forfeit.
Thank you. I knew that it was something like that. Coach George Van Keulen, they are also 1-0 in the conference and having beaten Silverton earlier this week. Yes, their one loss was a season opening loss, and I'm not sure what happened there. It might have been an ineligible player, if I remember correctly, and that's so the boys soccer team 4-1-2, the girls 3-3-1. West Albany, one more fact here on soccer. West Albany boys have allowed the fewest goals in the state this season so far.
Wow.
So that is your fall sports report, and go Dogs.
Very good. Thank you, Wally.
You bet.
As a much-needed rundown of the other Bulldog fall sports, and it's getting to be that time of year where as we head into the postseason, we will start keeping a closer eye on those teams and keep you abreast of what's going on here in West. One final note on the volleyball team. If you didn't see it in the Democrat Herald this week, Tawny Stevens, fine volleyball player for West Albany, has committed to play her collegiate career at Washington State. So congratulations to her heading to another Pac-12 school. We don't wish Washington State well tomorrow in football when they come to Corvallis, but we will wish them well next fall in volleyball when Tawny Stevens goes to play there collegiately. So kudos to her. And I would urge anybody who's close here in Albany to head out and to check out the West Albany volleyball team here before their season ends. It may very well end up at a state championship meet. Who knows? A long way to go, but off to a great start. It is homecoming night here. This always takes me back, watching the homecoming court be announced. Now, we've had some nights, and everybody, I think, at some point during their high school career had a homecoming night where it was miserable weather. Pouring down rain, and you feel terrible. The poor girls are out there soaking. Their parents are getting dirty and muddy. You couldn't ask for a better night. I know it's a little breezy and probably a little cool down there on the field, but not a cloud in the sky before the game started, and I don't think any have moved in since.
No, it's a beautiful night, and you can't ask for any more than that. Going to give you a little bit of trivia here.
Please do.
Okay, Brady Young, we talked about him the other night when we were up at Woodburn, I believe it was. We had Brady there close to us when we were doing that. Brady's mom, Donna Young, was homecoming princess when I was a sophomore, and she was a senior. Guess who her date was to homecoming that year?
Well, there's no way it would have been you. I won't believe that.
Wrong you are. Not so fast, my friend. I was her date.
Congratulations.
I won't say how many years ago that was, but she was Donna Luster at the time. And yes, I was the homecoming queen's date for homecoming that year.
I thought you were going to cut it off and you said I was the homecoming queen. That I would have believed that. That might have been your junior year. That came later on.
Yes, they crowned me.
Does Renee know about that?
No.
Can we tell Renee?
Yes. She knows that I was Donna's date that night, yes. Not that I was queen the next year.
Quite an honor for you on both levels. We will soon have our homecoming queen. We'll take a time out here and come back, and we'll try and get that broadcast for you after this break at 9:20 KSHO.
Competition is tough in the hairstyling business. The cutting room on Pacific across from Pops doesn't mind, because just like the Bulldogs, we strive for excellence with confidence. The cutting room wants to be your salon. Call us for an appointment at 541-928-0811.
It's that time again. Les Schwab's Fall Tire Sale, our biggest sale of the year. Come in and get great deals on some of our most popular tires. But hurry, the Fall Tire Sale ends October 31st. Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
Unforgettable 920.
Welcome back here to West Albany High School. It's halftime as West Albany leads South Albany 63-12. I welcome in Jeff Kiter, and because I know who pays my checks, I have to mention Mitch Benedict and his daughter Keely making their way out towards midfield. Mitch also works for the company that I work for, U.S. Bank. Jeff Kiter is here. He's got our first half stats. Jeff, there was a lot to get to on the West Albany side. A lot of points, a lot of offense for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, and they did make it look pretty easy so far in the first half. And led by Jake Lacoste. Jake only had 15 carries, but he gained 290 yards in the first half, plus 6 touchdowns. Matt Soot had 3 carries for 19 yards. Ben Engel had 1 carry for 9. And Cody Lahota had 2 carries for 28 yards. The Bulldogs in the first half, 21 carries, 346 yards. Those would be acceptable numbers for a whole game, not just a first half. Cody Lahota was outstanding in the first half at the quarterback position. He was 8 of 9 for 183 yards, threw 2 touchdowns. 2 of them to Brendan Breslin, had one for 60 yards and another one for 24 yards. Brendan had 6 receptions for 168 yards in the first half, and Jackson Soto had 1 for 15. Also, Matt Wiest was his foot. He must have a sore leg because he was perfect on his PATs, and he booted all 4 of us. He booted 4 kicks out of the end zone. Which I don't think we've seen that from Matt this year. The tailwind might have helped a little bit in the first half. But,
yeah.
And also JT Valenzuela had a nice kickoff return of 46 yards in the first half. Defensively for the Bulldogs, they held South Albany to 19 carries and 11 yards, a net of 11 yards.
Wow.
Tanner Tibbetts, I believe, was a leading passer in the state of Oregon.
Yes.
He was 6 of 14 for 115 yards. And Mitchell Gable, who I believe was the leading receiver in the state of Oregon,
Correct.
the 5A level.
Right, you are.
I believe he was held to 2 catches for 18 yards. I could be mistaken, but they basically held those two fellas in check in the first half. And leading the way defensively, I'm going to mention Carson French and Gabe Stone together because they both had 7 tackles and both had a half sack. They both were on that half sack in the first half. Nathan Clark had 5 tackles and a sack. Joey Roos 3 tackles, Tanner Gardner 3 tackles, Anthony Thompson had 4 tackles, and Cole Zumwalt was in on a couple of tackles as well. First downs, West Albany had 6, South Albany had 4. And penalties, probably, I can't really say it hurt the Bulldogs because of the big lead, but they did have 9 penalties for 95 yards, and South Albany had 2 penalties for 15 yards. So overall, great first half. And the second half will go by really quickly.
Very quickly. We'll have the running clock. Thank you, Jeff.
You're welcome.
Jeff Kiter providing us our first half stats. All West Albany 63-12, the halftime lead. Staggering numbers for Jake Lacoste, for Cody Lahota throwing the ball. The Bulldog defense holding South Albany to 11 yards on 19 carries. And Tanner Tibbett, as the Jeff said, 6 of 14, 115 yards in the first half. So the Bulldog defense has done a very nice job. The offense has done a tremendous job. Now we head to the second half. We'll start to see a lot of reserves. The clock will move very quickly. If it's a similar situation that like the one we saw in Woodburn, there may not be a lot of points in the second half, but a lot of youngsters will get some time.
Yeah, we're going to be able to call some names on both sides of the ball, Ryan. Both teams will do our best to get some names mentioned. A lot of parents, grandparents, probably not a lot of parents. Everybody's here at the stadium, but some grandparents, neighbors, and friends that will enjoy hearing some of these names. But going to be a similar circumstance to what we had up in Woodburn, and I am very confident Coach Nyquist to come out. They've spent the halftime preparing the next group of players, the reserves, to come in and do the job. And South Albany, they'll come with the starters. The reserves are gonna have a test because Tanner Tibbett certainly is not going to go down quietly here. And this this Rebel offense, they can be high powered and they can be quick strike, and I would expect them to come out fighting in the second half. Bulldog reserves are going to need to be ready.
63-12, the halftime score here at West Albany on homecoming night. I have to pass along some baseball scores because I'm a big baseball fan, and if anybody has not been paying attention today, that new wild card system in place in baseball, it's the one-game playoff to determine who the official wild card team is. The Cardinals beat the Braves earlier today. That saddens me. I used to be a huge Braves fan when I was younger. I know your mom is a huge Braves fan. Bit of a questionable call. Bottom of the 8th, the Braves were down by 3. They had 2 on with 1 out. Pop fly hit to shallow left field. It was ruled an infield fly. Now, I was listening to the Braves broadcast, and they're obviously biased like we would be for West. They thought it was one of the worst calls they had ever seen. Generally, an infield fly rule has to be on the infield or at least a legitimate play for an infielder. They ruled the batter out. The runners advanced after a walk. A strikeout ended the inning. The Braves went down 6-3. And then a bit of a shocker. If you follow baseball throughout the course of the season, probably the strongest team from start to finish in the American League was Texas. You'd have to say from day one till the end of the season. Texas was swept in the final 3 games of the regular season by Oakland, lost to the American League West, got forced into the one-game playoff, and they trail Baltimore right now 4-1 in the top of the 9th inning. The Orioles still have runners at the corners with 1 out. 4-1 Orioles, as they would be 3 outs away from advancing to the American League Division Series. So the road team's doing well in the one-game wild card playoffs. Cardinals won earlier. The Orioles winning right now. If you're a fan of birds, I guess it's a good night for you in baseball.
No question. I know you are a huge baseball fan. I find myself a little more compelled to watch when it gets to playoff time.
Yeah.
I like having the two teams in the wild card. I think it has increased interest in Major League Baseball. I know attendance is up this year, and I think that has something to do with it. Your dad and I have talked about that from the Sideline show on Friday morning, but I don't like the one and done system.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, I think if you go through a 162 game season, the seasons are like 18 months long, and you get to this point, and then it's a one and done to settle it. I disagree with that. Go 2 out of 3 at least, and give each team at least one home game, and go from there. But certainly more interest with 2 wild card teams in it now.
You can tell we have some time to fill here because it's homecoming night, and we're going to get the court here in just a moment. But we can agree on that it should be a best 2 out of 3 format, because as a Braves fan, I say this again, I'm biased, but it seems unfair to me that the Braves finished the season with a stronger record than the Cardinals. The Cardinals, kind of like last year, snuck into the playoffs again. They get the 1-game wild card, and because of some errors by the Braves blew it themselves, but some errors and some timely hitting, the Cardinals win, and they're in the official playoffs. The Braves are done, and Chipper Jones is done after 1 game, which makes me sad. That should be a 2 out of 3, but I agree. It increased interest to have more teams in it right up until about the last
I agree, and boy, what a career that's been for Chipper Jones, and it's not going to be the same not having him. 18, 19 years that he's been with the Atlanta Braves, and retiring, just played his last game.
2 things to put Chipper Jones's career into perspective. Number 1, Chipper Jones began his career in 1993. During his entire career, the Pittsburgh Pirates never had a winning season, not once. And the other thing would be the last time a baseball regular season ended and Chipper Jones was not a part of the end of the season, 1992. I was 11 years old. So it's sad for me that next season will begin and Chipper will not be a part of it.
Another little bit of trivia here.
Yeah, all right.
Chipper Jones' grandmother and my mom are friends.
You're kidding me.
No, I'm not kidding.
You never cease to amaze me. Your mom goes to spring training every year.
And
that's the backstory.
Chipper's mom lives in Orlando. They've gotten acquainted there at the spring training games and stay in regular contact now. So
nice.
Well,
just
kind of interesting little bit of trivia.
I have plans to be in Fort Myers next spring to see the Red Sox in spring training. My fiance and I are going to head to Florida. She has a cousin who lives in Fort Myers where the Red Sox train. And I'd be happy to head to Orlando and check out some Braves games if your mom wants some company.
We'll see if we can hook you up.
Yeah, okay. Well, you have the homecoming court here, and they all deserve a mention.
Yes, I certainly want to do that. The princesses and then queens. The queen is tapped there after everybody has been escorted out onto the field by their fathers. Mention the freshman princesses first. Julia Smith Harrington, 1 princess, and Riley Morgan. Now, Riley Morgan just happens to be my stepdaughter's little sister.
Oh, wow.
And so Riley, it's great to see her out there. Those are the freshman princesses. Sophomores are Ellie Kale and Grace Allen. The juniors, Brooke Hobie and Jessica Hensley. The seniors, Meredith Gates, Zoe Sams, and Breezy Benedict. And I believe that it was Miss Sams that was just coronated?
Crowned.
Yeah, there we go. Crowned the queen of the homecoming court. So congratulations to all the princesses and the queen, Zoe Sams.
And I think I said Kylie Benedict when Mitch was walking out. So to Breezy and to Mitch, I apologize. Mitch and Breezy Benedict, who were a part of the homecoming court out there.
And it wouldn't be Kylie either. It would be Keely.
Which is what I said. So I didn't say Kylie. I said Keely. I was wrong on both counts.
We are.
Is it the start of the third quarter yet? 63-12. West Albany has the lead. Let's take another break. We need it. We'll come back in just a minute here at 920 KSHO.
The mission of Now Builders is treat every job like it's their only job, no matter how big or small, and they don't stop until their customer is 100% satisfied 100% of the time. Check out their portfolio of fine work at nowbuilders.com. Call Now Builders at 541-926-2858.
Through September, Figaro's in Albany has the Santa Fe barbecue chicken. Tender cuts of chicken, dole pineapple, fresh onions, and sun-ripened tomatoes, all atop their signature barbecue sauce.
The short drive to Corvallis will save you time and money. This is Steve Buckner from Wilson Motors, inviting you to experience the notable difference at Wilson Motors, 5th and Buchanan in Corvallis. Check us out at saveatwilson.com.
Making life easier and more productive, that's what Lynn Benton Tractor can do for you. And it all begins by discovering how the full line of Kubota equipment can help.
Benton Tractor, we're still doing business the American way.
Highway 99E tangent.
920 KSHO.
It's time for the second half of football at West Albany. Now back to Ryan Pitts and Wally Ordeman.
That's there, KSHO Studios. As he said, Ryan Pitts, Wally Ordeman, and Jeff Kiter here with you tonight. Our thanks for joining us for Bulldog football with South Albany in town. Civil War night here in Albany. All Bulldogs so far, 63-12 at halftime. Just about set to start the third quarter, and a chance for us to mention several names, I'm sure, once the backup starts taking the field. Ben Engel is taking some snaps on the sideline. We anticipate that he will be the quarterback to start the second half. Luke LaChapelle also taking some practice snaps, so he may get a couple reps here in the second half. But for West Albany, offense early and often here tonight. Brendan Breslin got it started, a 60-yard touchdown pass. Cody Lahota to Breslin. And remember back, that pass was very nearly intercepted. Breslin took it away, went to the end zone, and that started things. Jake Lacoste scored the next 5 touchdowns for West. He had 6 total in the first half. 2 more touchdown passes from Lahota to Breslin bring us to where we are. South Albany scores, coming on a 4-yard run by Tanner Tibbett, and a 70-yard strike, a beautifully thrown ball from Tibbett to Shane Brown. That's how the Rebels scored twice. Had a point after blocked, and then a 2-point conversion that failed. That's how they're at 12. As Tyler Taylor sends a kick right into the waiting arms of Ryan Radke, who slides down to grab it at the 45-yard line. I don't know if it was an onside try or just a little squib try, but Radke secures it, and the Bulldogs will take over from their own 45, 1st and 10.
Yeah, and keep in mind, too, we hope we have as complete a roster as we can.
Yes.
But there will be some players out there with numbers that aren't on our roster, and we apologize immediately for that fact that there are going to be some players we just don't know who they are for West Albany, as some of the JV players that aren't on the roster may end up being in this game. Already spotted one on special teams. We'll get as many names mentioned as we can.
And I need to give a thank you to Jeff Kiter, who points out to me that there is a 44 on the field right now. That is Kevin Lahota. It is not Gabe Stone. As Ben Engel on a keeper left side will go down. No gain on the play. As good pursuit from the Rebel defensive line. Engel trying to run left. Did not have any space. Will Hatley on the stop for South.
Yeah, and looked like kind of an option setup there as Engel took it to the other side. Really had his good outside contained. South Albany had good lateral speed there to get that play stretched out. Had nobody to pitch that ball to, and ends up taking it for no gain. Going to bring up 2nd and 10.
And that clock rolls, as it will, throughout the second half, making up for what was a long first half and halftime, 10 minutes to 9, and we're just starting the third quarter. It was halftime in the Silverton-Lebanon game seemingly an hour ago. As Ben Engel under center. Waits a snap. Fakes to the fullback Crook. Now we'll pitch it out late for Anthony Thompson. Thompson to midfield. Horse-collared out of bounds at the Rebel 49-yard line. Thompson grabbed from behind and thrown out of bounds. Tyler Nicholson with the stop for the Rebels. Gain of 6. It'll be 3rd down and 4.
Well, Anthony Thompson, we've talked about his speed for a couple of years now. Able to get to the corner, turns it. South Albany player grabbed the jersey there and able to wrestle him down short of the 1st down yardage. Going to bring up 3rd and about 4.
Of difficulty here for us, since Hiram Crook is in at fullback. West Albany not only plays now a lot of backups, but they also have some players wearing duplicate numbers. So we have to sort that out as Thompson explodes for a 1st down. Off left tackle, Anthony Thompson taking it inside the 45 of South Albany. Nick Plagman with the stop, but it is a 1st down for West at the Rebel 43.
Good job by that offensive front. They're getting a good surge, seeing some familiar numbers still in the offensive line for the Bulldogs, and I think that's a good move. See Jameson Dufour, number 88. Saw him on sideline there in one game. Was that at Silverton?
Week, yep.
Yes, it was, and good to see Jameson Dufour back in the lineup.
Angle, another give to Thompson. Thompson breaking tackles, has a 1st down and more inside the 30, thrown down near the 26 of South Albany. So Anthony Thompson getting some carries here. Say again, last year, late in the season, Anthony Thompson had a 100-yard game for West Albany, and he's their 3rd-string running back right now.
Steely Smith with a great block on that particular play right there. Had his man sealed off, kind of locked in on him and watched him seal his man, enabled Anthony Thompson to bust that one up the middle for 1st down yardage.
Well, the Bulldogs still rolling with the starters on the offensive line. Colton Brandt, Steely Smith, Buck Truelove, Alex Boyd, and Cole Zumwalt. As Thompson, another carry off right side, spins for 2 as he'll take it inside the 25 to the 24. It'll be 2nd down and 8 for Thompson. Joe Birchfield still in there along the line. I wonder
what number he'll be next week.
the rotating jerseys. He's been number 50 all season. Last week he was number 37. Tonight he's number 83. And lining up really as a true tight end. They've thrown his way once.
Got cookies from his folks last week, too.
We did,
Those were. She makes a fine cookie.
She really does, and they came in handy for me because we got back late from Silverton. I was leaving Albany, couldn't decide if I wanted to stop for dinner, and I thought, I'll just have the cookies. That sounds like a good dinner. So I thank the Birchfields. They came through for me last week. There's all sorts of movement up front.
Yeah, how about Joe Birchfield with the movement on that far side?
Well, it's one of my favorite lines in the football season. You have to say it. When everybody moves before the snap, you always say that it's like
the day after Thanksgiving at Kmart.
Thank you. Yeah, so that's what it looked like there.
It sure did.
5-yard penalty takes it back to the 29 of South. We're getting close.
Everybody goes.
We're getting close to Black Friday.
Yes, we are.
Stunning. We're already in the first week of October. I'll give you the reminder now. It'll be next Thursday when we join you next because of the state in-service. No game next Friday. It's next Thursday from Dallas High School. So mark your calendars on the 11th. We'll join you back on the air, 7 p.m. from Dallas. Bulldogs and Dragons. 2nd and 13. And now it's South Albany rolling into the neutral zone. Dakota Cater could not cease his forward progress. And he'll give the 5 yards back that West just lost on the motion penalty.
Cater, 6'1", 165-pound junior, trying to anticipate the snap, trying to make things happen. You can't blame him for that. Trying to get into that offensive backfield as quickly as he can, but tries to jump the snap and gets caught for offsides. Moves the ball 5 yards forward. Going to bring up 2nd at about 7.
You got to love the running clock. We're already near the midway point of the third quarter. 6:48 and moving. West Albany with the ball. 2nd and 8, just inside the Rebel 24, leading 63-12. As Angle gives it again to Thompson. Thompson off the left side, not a lot of room, gains a yard, maybe 2. It will bring up 3rd down and close to 6 here for the Bulldogs.
Number 34, Cody Washburn into the game for the Bulldogs, 5'9", 180-pound sophomore. And I believe at fullback. He might be in at tailback.
I think he is.
Anthony Thompson came out.
Thompson's coming off.
Listed on the roster as a fullback, but yes, we will see him at tailback.
It's a good move, I think, by Coach Nyquist to let the backup running backs run behind the first-string offensive line. Gives them some confidence. As Washburn gets the carry on 3rd and 6, takes it inside the 20, shy of the first down by a couple of yards, as it will be 4th down and short.
Gets right on the hip of his offensive blocker there, and Washburn with a nice run there. Going to bring up 4th down here. No change of personnel. The Bulldogs will go.
And again, it's one of those cases. What do? You kick a field goal, you're running it up. You go for it, you seem like you're running it up. It's a lose-lose situation for a head coach. As the Bulldogs with 4th down and 3, the ball at the Rebel 19. Already more than 6 minutes gone here in the third quarter. Angle with Thompson and Crook behind him in the eye. Long count for Ben, who will take the snap and run a little option right, keeping it, looking for some space, fighting, dragging tacklers, will have a 1st down. A determined run by Ben Engel as he pulls Will Hatley past the 1st down chains. And the Bulldogs will have a 1st down.
All right, how about 5'10", 160 pounds? And that's soaking wet. I can guarantee you that. Ben Engel, though, with great leg drive, had the offensive line there pulling with him. Ben Engel, nice job to get that 1st down yardage.
Ben is one of the kids that we've seen without pads at basketball games, so you can see his size. So many of these players you never see without the pads, so you have no idea what they look like without the pads on. But Ben is not a big kid, and he just dragged Will Hatley, 6'3", 233. Going to carry again, little space at the 15, inside the 10, and down to the 6-yard line. Is Ben Engel able to turn it up for about 6? He's 2nd down and short.
Now, Coach Nyquist, when I talked to him pre-season, had a nice chat with him, and he talked about when Ben Engel's on the field, and you've heard me say this before, he's like having another coach on the field. He's that smart, and Ben, you know that in running the option, he's going to recognize what the defense gives him, and that recognition is what can make the option so effective. Nice job by Engel there as he cuts that inside, brings up a 2nd and short.
2nd down and 4 from the Rebel 6. Engel gives it inside to Crook, and Hiram Crook plowing his way inside the 5, down close to the 3. He'll be 3rd down and short. So many phenomenal runs we've seen this season from Jake Lacoste. Indistinguishable among the great runs he's had. But Ben Engel has one of the fine runs of the year, yes. The touchdown against Crescent Valley.
He sure does. It was a bob and weave and really finding his gaps nicely. That was a great run. That last tackle, number 27, Dakota Cater, 6'1", 165-pound junior for South.
3rd and 1 from the Rebel 4. Engel another give for Crook, and Crook driving his way, leaning for the goal line. He is going to be just short. Down at the 1, it's going to be first down and goal for West Albany. As Hiram Crook, the fullback, getting a carry. It will be first and goal inside the 1. 3:16 to play here in the third quarter. Still the initial offensive series for West Albany.
You know, it'd be nice to see Crook be able to get into the end zone and such a workhorse and such an effective blocker in front of Jake Lacoste that doesn't get a lot of the glory, but certainly has paved the way for a lot of Lacoste touchdowns. It'd be great to see him get in there.
And he will get it. And as Crook straight ahead, the fullback give, and Hiram Crook is in for a touchdown. With 2:50 to go in the third quarter, it's now 69-12 West Albany.
Boy, mission accomplished there for the Bulldogs. Ben Engel leading the way there at quarterback. Nice job, efficient job of just churning out some clock. The Bulldogs with this running clock down to 2.5 minutes here in the third quarter, get into the end zone. Primarily reserves on the field. Really a nice job by this group to get the 6 points.
Now the Bulldogs line up for 2. And Engel just gives it to Thompson. Thompson is wrapped up and dropped. So the 2-point conversion is not successful. The Bulldogs not going deep into the playbook for that try. Just a straight ahead carry. The Rebels stuff it. As the clock will continue to run, and they do have to, we'll stop it here for the score. So it's 69-12 West Albany. 2:08 to play in the third quarter, and we'll continue here at 9:20 KSHO.
If you'd like to do it yourself or need helpful advice doing it, your neighborhood Ace Hardware and Contractor Center can help. Economy Supply Building Center has been that helpful place for over 58 years. Economy Supply Building Center, where Highway 34 becomes Tangent Street in Lebanon.
Need some electrical work in your home or business, but it just seems like too small of a job to call the pros? No matter what the job, call City and Suburban Electric. Proud to be a contributing member of our community. City and Suburban Electric. Call 451-5609.
Lassen RV at Albany has the new RV models on the lot now, ready for you to buy. Lassen RV Service Department has a new truckload of parts and accessories on sale just in time for fall fix-up. From changing a light bulb to rebuilding your entire RV. No job is too big or too small for Lassen RV at Albany, where friends send their friends.
Unforgettable 920.
Welcome back here to West Albany High School, Wally. I'll point out on special teams for West, there's a number 39 that's down there on the near side. Do we remember who number 39 is? Putting you on the spot here.
I'm trying.
We have a vested interest on our broadcast team of number 39.
Man, that's Tanner Kiter.
There you go.
That's Tanner Kiter.
There you go. Tanner in on special
Did
teams.
you see
on
the
near side.
clueless look on my face? Wow.
Thankfully, there's no video portion of the broadcast. As Matt Wiest with the kick sends it down to Isaiah Curligan, who takes it about the 6-yard line, tries the right side and has room at the 25-30. At the 35, Curligan hammered at the 40, stuck there. Big hit on special teams from Cody Washburn. Good return by Curligan, but Washburn, big hit at the end, drawing the oohs and ahs from the crowd.
I believe Tanner Kiter was in on that tackle as well. He got up from the pile. Wow, what a hit that was.
Tanner has only been out for football for a couple of weeks, but getting in on the tackle. I almost feel responsible for it, telling Mr. White to our left here to keep the clock running, because when we were up at Woodburn, they did not stop the clock for anything. They didn't stop it for a touchdown. I thought maybe they had changed the rules this year. So I said to him, it only stops for timeouts, for injuries in between the quarters. That's on me. Because at Woodburn, they didn't stop it for anything.
We blame you for everything
I know.
anyway.
It's, I'm here to take the fall. It's okay. South from their own 40, 1st and 10. Under a minute to go in the third quarter as Tanner Tippett back to throw under some pressure from Colton Brand, and he's going to be sacked by Colton Brand. Back near the 30-yard line is Brand able to break through, gets the sack on Tippett. The Bulldogs keeping the pressure coming as the starters remain out there for the Bulldog defense here in the third quarter. The waning moments of the third quarter, 36 seconds left.
And I'll just say this. I think that's out of respect for what Tanner Tippett can do on a football field. He's got an arm. You know that he's got they've been so prolific offensively on this season. I think West Albany just wants to make sure that there isn't going to that they don't give any life here.
Tippett gives it to Dallas Mealer, and Mealer will take it for a good gain across the 40, back across the original line of scrimmage, out to the 43. It's a gain of 10. It'll be 3rd down and 8. Gabe Stone again on the stop for West Albany. as we're not going to get another play off here before the end of the third quarter. That will end the third. A very quick third quarter. West Albany the only score on a 1-yard touchdown run by Hiram Crook. We will head to the fourth here on KSHO. West Albany 69 against South Albany 12. Back in a moment here on 920 KSHO.
Join the fun at the Albany Athletic Club. Group fitness classes from low-impact dance to traditional circuit training, plus racquetball and more. Watch your waistline shrink and your health improve every day. Start now at the Albany Athletic Club on Hickory next to Tom's Garden Center.
You will come out a winner at Power Honda. Their talented staff will show you how easy it is to get the vehicle you want and the payment you need. Check out mypowerhonda.com. Call 928-0122 or just go in to Power Honda, Highway 20 east of I-5 in Albany, your Honda Superstore.
Albany Burgerville is celebrating 50 years of serving customers fresh, great-tasting food with a mission to serve with love. Pick up a Burgerville card now and earn rewards cash for every dollar spent. See store for details. Stop by Burgerville after the game. Order a famous Tillamook cheeseburger. Open 7 a.m. to midnight Fridays.
A first-class 24/7 fitness facility, always open with keyless access where safety is paramount. That's Snap Fitness of Albany, where they offer free classes of yoga, Pilates, and Zumba with each membership. Check out Snap Fitness's new gym, now on Hickory Street in North Albany.
Unforgettable 920.
Fourth quarter underway. Very quick change in between the quarters, and a pass intended for Trent Webb goes incomplete. So it will be 4th down and 7 for South Albany with the fourth quarter just underway, 69-12 West Albany. South Albany next week will head back home to take on Crescent Valley. That game also Thursday night. West Albany heads up Highway 99 to Dallas.
Right.
Tibbett back to throw. Pass is caught, but he's going to be short of the first down. Shane Brown making the catch, but shy of the first down. It will be a turnover on downs as West will take it back. Yes, Wally?
And right, we did see some substitution on defense there on that series there. We had Damon Alley, number 10, 5'10", 145-pound sophomore. We'll see if we can get a couple other numbers here, as we saw also Anthony Iverson, 5'11", 190-pound junior for the Bulldogs, was in as well. John Sublette was in 5'11", 155-pound sophomore, was also in defensively for the Bulldogs.
Bate Sassaman, Luke Hawkins, and Talon Rogers, the other ones that I saw. Yeah, Luke LaChapelle comes in now at quarterback for West. Cody Washburn behind him. McLean Westberg is a receiver out to the left. As on first down, it's a give to Washburn. And Washburn, good burst inside the 45, down near the 41-yard line. Maybe finally emerging from the pile near the 40. Good run on first down for Washburn, close to 7.
That's 2 good runs for Washburn and going right over the center's left shoulder there. Nice job, 5'9", 180-pound sophomore. He's got some strong legs himself. We see some changes on the offensive line. We'll see if we can get some mentions, spot some numbers here.
One thing we do need to figure out is the name of number 71. He's the new big kid for West. Is Washburn another good carry? Has the first down inside the 35 to the 34. 6 more yards for Washburn and a Bulldog first down.
Yeah, Sassaman's in the game, number 46. Also, I don't have 46.
I don't either.
75, John Bowes, 5'10", 270 pounds. Can this be right? 5'10", 270-pound sophomore. John Bowes, number 75. Yep, I believe it.
Tyler Brinson is your center. John Pearson is a receiver out to the right. As Luke LaChapelle under center, just inside the 35, gives it to Washburn. Washburn with a crease up the middle. Washburn inside the 30, down to the 29-yard line. So Cody Washburn going to pile up some nice stats here down the stretch.
Yeah, showing some vision too. That wasn't just a plow ahead and hope for the best. That was spotting an opening there and keeping his head up, watching for the holes. Nice job by Washburn.
This just does so many things. We've had an opportunity to do it many times over the years, get the backups in, but gives them an opportunity. A little varsity action, check the speed of the game. A lot of starters still in there for South. Just let them test what they can do. As Washburn, another carry, down close to the first down. It'll be short by about a yard. It'll be 3rd down and short, as it was Caleb Emmons in on the stop for South Albany.
Wide receiver to our near side here, number 85, McLean Westberg, 6 foot, 150-pound sophomore.
And Chase Toland was the linebacker, or the offensive lineman who just came in, and the Bulldogs swapping in between plays. Kyle Lovell is in as the fullback. Johnny Pearson continues as a receiver to the right. LaChapelle, a give to Washburn. Washburn trying the left side, and he's going to be stacked up short of the first down. No gain on the play. And again, off left tackle. Will Hatley in on the stopper south. He's been busy on the defensive line. It'll be 4th down and 1 with 8 minutes to go in the game. 69-12, West Albany with the lead.
Yeah, again, that no man's land where West Albany really needs to go for it here, and they don't need to go for it. They could certainly punt, but it's just one of those things where you're not gonna set up the punt for a 25-yard punt. Certainly, they're gonna go, and they better keep it on the ground, or I may go down there.
4th and 1 from the Rebel 25. Washburn the deep back for LaChapelle. Washburn gets the carry. Washburn spinning, leaning, first down inside the 25. Down 23, close to the 22-yard line. So Washburn enough to move the chains. Clock won't stop. It will continue to roll. Bulldogs on the move again here with the backups of the backups leading the way.
Game being managed well by the reserve quarterbacks. First Ben Engel and then Luke LaChapelle. Game being managed very nicely. Clean snaps from center to quarterback so far. Good job by the reserves.
And Washburn, another carry. Off right guard, gets a couple down to the 20. Tyler Brinson, again, in at the center position. I never get to come up here for the JV games. One would presume that DeBrinson and LaChapelle have plenty of chances on the JV squad to exchange center to quarterback.
And one would presume that number 24 that just came into for the Bulldogs is not Jackson Soto.
No, we went through this also up at Woodburn. As LaChapelle under center, 2nd down and 8 from the Rebel 20. And there's the mysterious non-Soto who will take the carry for a yard to the 19-yard line. You know, when you have the duplicate numbers, we don't know. It's not on the roster, and we don't know before the game that they're going to get in. So we apologize if we don't have a name. They are ever immortalized as their uniform number 24.
You know, it probably wouldn't hurt us to, maybe I'll take it in a JV game. Like to be able to do that, and
Well, it seems we lost Ryan and Wally over there at West Albany, but what good timing. I was working on scores anyway. Over in... There we go. Cleveland is up on Benson 37-6. Churchill over Willamette 24-0. Crescent Valley is up on Corvallis 31-3. Corvallis finally scored in the 4th quarter tonight. Oh, you're back. Okay.
Here we are as Luke LaChapelle throwing on a 4th down and 7 completed to Johnny Pearson, and that's going to be a first down. Pearson makes the catch down inside the 12-yard line, enough to move the chains for West Albany.
Nice, safe little route and nice job. Just a little pitch and catch there. Quarterback receiver. Pearson brings it in for first down yardage here. Can still get a first down without getting into the end zone here with the Bulldogs marching again. Chris Porter, 5'11", 145-pound junior into the game for the Bulldogs.
We did see the South coaches making their way past us, including Dennis Erickson, heading down out of the booth here as he carry inside the 10-yard line down close to the 6. Went to Chris Porter. The Bulldogs using a lot of different players here tonight, and you like that. You know, the game has gotten out of hand. It's 69-12, but so many different players getting a touch here. It's going to keep Jeff very busy with the stats, trying to get them all on the sheet.
No doubt.
But to Porter with the carry down close to the 5. It will be 2nd down and 5. Washburn back in there at tailback. LaChapelle settles under center and gives it to Washburn. Washburn straight up the middle, driving, leaning for the goal line. He'll get inside the 2-yard line, close to the first down. You can get a first down without a touchdown. Wouldn't be easy. So it's going to be 3rd down and short. 3:53 and running. You know, you dream up these things during the course of the night. You don't know how it's going to work out. I was hoping maybe we'd have an opportunity to grab Dennis Erickson for a moment and bring him on. I just wanted to say thanks to him for taking the Beavers to the Fiesta Bowl.
And that's exactly what I would say to him as well. I got to shake his hand as he came in, had the headset on, didn't get to talk to him, but that's what I would like to be able to say to him is thanks for what you did for Oregon State football.
And here we can say touchdown, Cody Washburn, as Washburn straight up the middle He carried the load on that drive. He gets into the end zone. The first varsity score in the career of Cody Washburn, the sophomore, and the Bulldogs lead at 75-12 with 3:15 to go.
Well, very happy for young Mr. Washburn. And you can tell he's got some great vision out there. He's got good, strong legs, and nice job by that offensive line. Everybody on the field now. No starters on the field right now. And very efficient drive for the Bulldogs as they get into the end zone again. And the clock will continue to run, 2:49 and counting here in the game as the Bulldogs will go for two.
And La Chapelle on a little bootleg for the two-point try, rolling right. It's going to be stopped for a loss. They blow it dead very quickly, wanting to save everybody from any injury here down the stretch. The two-point conversion, no good. With 2:38 to play, it's West Albany 75 and South Albany 12. We will take a break and return in a moment to 920 KSHO.
Albany Grocery Outlet Bargain Market across from the Heritage Mall has Senior Day, the first Tuesday of every month. $2 off every purchase of $15 or more. Albany Grocery Outlet Bargain Market. 100% satisfaction guaranteed across from the Heritage Mall with bargains on the brands you trust.
Unforgettable 920.
Welcome back here to West Albany High School. What has become an historic night for the West Albany offense, 75-12. Now, this matches the most points that we have seen in a West Albany game. Remember well that playoff game a couple of years ago against Ashland, 75-0 was the final score of that one. That set several playoff records. This one, I'm fairly confident, would set a Civil War record for points scored, 75 on the board for West Albany. The latest 6 coming from Cody Washburn. And a nice moment for the 5'9", 180 sophomore, as we remind you that these games will live online at kgal.com under sports broadcasts, the MP3. So any Cody Washburn fans out there have a moment to keep.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's real easy to do. Love to be able to go back and listen to the broadcast. I know a lot of people do. I know a lot of the players do go back and listen to the nice things we've said about them throughout the game. Got a new kicker in the game. Damon Alley's going to do the honors here.
Dan Alley?
Go ahead.
Sorry,
go ahead.
I was going to say appears to be a south foot. You would say a southpaw if he was left-handed, but he's going to kick left-footed. And a nice little pooch directional kick. As an over-the-shoulder grab is made by Sean Van Nostren. And up the sideline, Van Nostren will take it across the 30 to the 32-yard line. 2 minutes to play.
Let's see if we can spot some others. Look like Taylor Johnson, number 49, came up from the bottom of that pile, 6 foot, 160-pound sophomore. Missed a lot of the other numbers.
Just to try and get some that I don't think we've mentioned yet, and if Wally and I sometimes duplicate these because we're so busy trying to figure out who is who, but I see Seth Lynn is out there. I'm not sure I've mentioned that name yet.
As well as number 29, Calvin Chamberlain, 5'8", 145-pound sophomore as well, in defensively here for the Bulldogs.
Yep, Talon Rogers is out there again, John Sublette. Luke Hawkins, Chris Porter in on defense. Porter got a carry on offense. Maxton Featherston in a linebacker spot along with Peyton Sassaman. As now some backups in for South Albany too. It's Michael Schmidt, the running back, who will get the carry, and Schmidt will take it for a couple yards. Out to the 35, near the 36-yard line. Not too many plays remaining. 1 minute left, and with that clock moving, maybe 2 more snaps coming in the game. As those snaps right now for South Albany being taken by Tyler Kelsch, a 6'3", 200-pound sophomore quarterback. As Kelsch will go from the shotgun, 43 seconds remaining. Kelsch awaiting the pass from center, has it, gives it again to Schmidt. And Schmidt wrapped up and dropped. Nothing there. Ryan Radke with the stop for West Albany.
Boy, what a stop it was. Radke wasn't having any part of that right there. Able to wrestle into the ground. Very minimal gain. Going to bring up third and about 8.
A final score as Silverton has defeated Lebanon 28-6. Another very impressive defensive effort from Silverton. As Kelsch back to throw, sets up, fires deep. He's looking and got a man on the far sideline. Gable, and Gable is going to go to the house for a touchdown. What will be the final play of the game, it would appear. It'll stop for the touchdown with 5 seconds left. But the home run pass and a nice throw from Kelsch.
Really put it right on the money, too, didn't he? Hits him in stride. Gable, how about that breakaway speed? He is swift. Takes it the rest of the way. Nice run after the catch. And Rebels into the end zone.
So Gable, 65 yards on the touchdown pass. As that's just going to do it. They will not try the point after, and that's going to be your ball game. So it ends on a good note for the Rebels, but a high note on the night for West Albany as they get back in the win column in a big way tonight. The final score here in the Civil War, West Albany 75, South Albany 18. We'll take a time out, come back and wrap things up on 920 KSHO.
The mission of Now Builders is treat every job like it's their only job, no matter how big or small, and they don't stop until their customer is 100% satisfied 100% of the time. Check out their portfolio of fine work at nowbuilders.com. Call Now Builders at 541-926-2858.
Through September, Figaro's in Albany has the Santa Fe barbecue chicken. Tender cuts of chicken, Dole pineapple, fresh onions, and sun-ripened tomatoes, all atop their signature barbecue sauce.
The short drive to Corvallis will save you time and money. This is Steve Buckner from Wilson Motors, inviting you to experience the notable difference at Wilson Motors, 5th and Buchanan in Corvallis. Check us out at saveatwilson.com.
Making life easier and more productive, that's what Lynn Benton Tractor can do for you. And it all begins by discovering how the full line of Kubota equipment can help.
Benton Tractor, we're still doing business the American way.
Highway 99E Tangent.
920 KSHO.
Looking back here to West Albany High School, a record-setting night for West Albany on the scoreboard. The most points that they have scored in Mid-Willamette Conference play, 75 on the board tonight. 75-18 is the final score. A couple of very nicely thrown balls throughout the course of the night for South Albany. The touchdown pass towards the end of the first half went from Tanner Tibbett to Shane Brown. And then the touchdown pass on the final play of the game from Tyler Kelsch, backup quarterback, 6'3", 200-pound sophomore, goes to Mitchell Gable. Gable came in as the leading receiver in 5A. A very quiet night, but a big strike on the final play of the game. Those are the high points for South. A lot of high points for West. They put up 75 points on the night. They play the second half with entirely backups. The offensive line had some starters and a couple of players in different positions than they normally play, but all backups. A lot of younger players got some time. The Stars got the big numbers in the first half. Jake Lacoste got his 6 touchdowns. Cody Lahota threw 3 touchdowns, all 3 to Brett Breslin. The defense did a great job up front. The blocking was tremendous. So many good things for West Albany tonight, and a lopsided Civil War win.
Yeah, great job overall by the Bulldogs. You can point to all aspects of the football game tonight. I think what can you say about the job West Albany did? I think they came in a little upset over that last week's loss, and I think they felt like they had something to prove. Nobody could have predicted 75 points tonight. You just don't come into this game. The way South Albany, you knew that they've been giving up a lot of points on the season, but you didn't think that it would be this way. South Albany's going to win some football games down the road here, and yet this season, and South, they are prolific on offense. They've got a good system. They've got enthusiasm, and they've got numbers. And it's just one of those things where they ran into a Bulldog team that was clicking on all cylinders tonight. It was the way things went throughout the first quarter. It was just one of those things where West Albany was just not going to be deep tonight.
We've alluded to it a few times tonight, but you wonder if South Albany may send a note to Silverton at some point through the week and say, thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Thanks for this, because it really got West Albany fired up tonight. The Bulldogs had a point to make, and they made it early. They made it off, and 75-18 is the final score. Jeff Kiter will be along in a little bit with our final game stats. The reminder that our next broadcast will be next Thursday up at Dallas High School. We're at Dallas on Thursday the 11th, back home here to take on Lebanon on Friday the 19th, and then at Corvallis on Friday the 26th before we will head into postseason play. Just 3 games remaining in the regular season. West Albany came in this week, number 5 in the power rankings. South Albany was number 30, so this one won't do a ton for West power ranking-wise, but they just continue to roll. 5-1 on the season, 3-1 in the Mid-Willamette. South will drop to 2-4. 1-3 in Mid-Willamette Conference play. And as we said a moment ago, Silverton got the win at Lebanon, 28-6, the final score there. As the season goes along, the 21 points put up by West Albany, a chance for more were it not for some turnovers, actually looked pretty good against Silverton. Their defense is great.
Yeah, I think if those teams play 10 times, I think probably each team wins 5 times. I think they were very evenly matched. You can't, against a good team, you're not going to overcome 5 turnovers, and that's certainly the case. West Albany tonight gets that turned around, and no turnovers tonight by the Bulldogs. They held on to the ball very well. Second half, the group of non-starters, I keep calling reserves. That they are. They're reserves, but the rest of the way I'm going to call them non-starters.
Yeah, that's very Dr. Phillip. Nice. That's a good way to put it.
But everybody got the job done tonight. No turnovers. The Bulldogs very efficient offensively and very stingy defensively.
Yeah, just everything went right tonight for West Albany in the first half offensively. Whatever they wanted to do, they did. Jake Lacoste ran for 290 yards in the first half. Cody LaHoda was throwing the ball very, very well. The Bulldogs took care of the ball as well. He said they did not turn it over. They did not have to punt. And in the second half, churning the clock with the backups, Cody Washburn got the touchdown there right at the end. First varsity touchdown, and a very nice job on the drive. Again, Jeff Kiter will come our way shortly with the final game numbers. In fact, if we need one more break, Tom, let's take it here. If not, we'll just make the seamless transition to Jeff and get our stats.
If you'd like to do it yourself or need helpful advice doing it, your neighborhood Ace Hardware and Contractor Center can help. Economy Supply Building Center has been that helpful place for over 58 years. Economy Supply Building Center, where Highway 34 becomes Tangent Street in Lebanon.
Need some electrical work in your home or business, but it just seems like too small of a job to call the pros? No matter what the job, call City and Suburban Electric. Proud to be a contributing member of our community. City and Suburban Electric. Call 451-5609.
Lassen RV at Albany has the new RV models on the lot now, ready for you to buy. Lassen RV Service Department has a new truckload of parts and accessories on sale just in time for fall fix-up. From changing a light bulb to rebuilding your entire RV. No job is too big or too small for Lassen RV in Albany, where friends send their friends.
Unforgettable 920.
Back one more time. Once the bodies all file out of here, you can tell that it is turning into a cool evening here in Albany, but a beautiful night. And if you're a Bulldog fan, a thoroughly beautiful night. 75-18 is the final score. West Albany gets the win. South Albany alum Jeff Kiter, I haven't mentioned that yet tonight. I have to do it every time there's a Civil War game. You wear blue and gold. Your son plays for West Albany. Is there any little piece of you that still carries some of the Rebel with you on these nights?
Absolutely.
Or a big piece, I guess.
Absolutely. I think you had mentioned early on the broadcast that anytime South Albany does not play West Albany, we're rooting for South Albany. Yeah. We want the success not only for them, but it's for the community of Albany. So rough night tonight for the South Albany Rebels, though. Let's we'll start out. I'll go as quickly as I can, but Jake Lacoste had 15 carries, all of them in the first half for 290 yards and the 6 touchdowns. Matt Sood had the 3 carries in the first half for 19 yards. Ben Eagle had 4 carries for 21. Cody LaHoda had 2 carries for 28. Hiram Crook had 3 carries for 7 yards and a touchdown. Anthony Thompson had 4 carries for 28 yards. And Cody Washburn had a lot of carries there to start the second half. He had 10 carries for 38 yards and a touchdown. Number 24, who was not Jackson Soda, was Conley Taylor.
Oh, thank you.
And he had 2 carries for 1 yard. Chris Porter had 1 carry for 6 yards. The Bulldogs on the ground, 44 carries for 438 yards. In the air, again, Cody LaHoda, great efficient night. Once again, 8 of 9 in the air. 183 yards and a couple of touchdowns. Luke LaChapelle was 1 of 1 and threw a pass to Johnny Pearson there at the end of the game for 6 yards. So Johnny had 1 reception for 6 yards. Brendan Breslin had 6 receptions for 168 and a couple of scores. And Jackson Soto had 1 reception for 15 yards. And for the South Albany Rebels, they ended with 21 carries for a net of 25 yards. And again, with the clock running, and West Albany held a possession there for quite some time there in the third quarter. Yeah. Not a lot of opportunities, but 21 carries for 25 yards. Passing Tanner Tibbetts, he was 6 of 14 for 115 yards. And then Tyler Kelch came in and threw a nice touchdown pass there at the end of the game for 65 yards. Let's see, defensively for the Bulldogs, couple of names that we typically don't get to mention. Ryan Radke was in on a tackle. Peyton Sassman in on a tackle. Calvin Chamberlain had 3 tackles. And then a couple of the leaders, as I mentioned earlier, Carson French and Gabe Stone both had 7 tackles and half a sack. Nathan Clark finished with 5 tackles and a sack. Anthony Thomas had 4 tackles. And again, I think, Wally, you mentioned earlier about the turnovers. West Albany had no turnovers, which was great. I think the coaching staff has to be extremely pleased about that. And South Albany, I think, only had 1 turnover. So
I believe that's right.
Okay.
Yep.
Very clean game turnover-wise. You wouldn't think so on the scoreboard, but a good win for South Albany, and they'll get ready to play Dallas.
Dallas for us,
okay.
Yes. And the win for West Albany.
And a win for West Albany.
West with the win here tonight, 75-18. I don't want to alarm any listeners who just tuned in and maybe turned us off at halftime, think that there was a big comeback. West Albany gets the win. And thanks again to the South Albany grad, Jeff Kiter. Now the Bulldog avid supporter. His son got a couple of steps on I think 1 on special teams there in the second half. We'll hope to see more of Tanner down the stretch for West Albany. Wally, in a night where it's a 75-18 West Albany win, there's so many different things that you could look at. It's great to get the backups in. But with West Albany, you basically have to start with Jake Lacoste and what he was able to do in the first half. It seems like eons ago now, but 15 carries, 6 of them for touchdowns. He runs for 290 more yards. And he just looks like he's playing a different game than everybody else. He's unreal.
Yeah, there are times when you know that he's playing at a different speed than anybody else, but you're just so impressed with how he's picking his spots, he's getting to the corners quickly, he's turning the balance, the leg drive, the following his blockers when he needs to, patience when he needs to, and aggressiveness when he needs to. He's just become a very mature runner, and teams, I'm sure as they scout West Albany and anticipate playing them down the road and getting into the postseason, teams are going to be scratching their heads, say, how do we stop this guy?
3 more games in the regular season. Next Thursday, our next broadcast up at Dallas, 7 p.m. for the kickoff, and we will be there on what we hope will be another good weather night. That's one of my least favorite drives of the year, up Highway 99 to Dallas. So often I say, when we go up there, it's foggy, it's cold, and that's a dark drive. So I will hope again for good weather for our transit and hope for a good Bulldog outcome next Thursday. As West Albany heads to Dallas. South Albany will be at home next Thursday night. Crescent Valley, the opponent, before the Rebels finish on the road at Woodburn and at Silverton. West Albany wins their 11th straight in the Civil War Series. They now lead the overall series 25-17. And they win this one in a big way tonight, 75-18. West Albany rebounding from the loss last Friday in a big way here tonight in the Civil War against South Albany. Thanks again to the Stones. Gabe Stone's mom, Lynette, who brought us the thumbprint cookies, those peanut butter cookies with the Hershey's Kiss in the middle. To the Smiths, Steely Smith's dad, who brought us up the peanut butter cookies.
Taylor, and made by Katie Smith.
Yes, and Katie, a fine cook. I can vouch for that in many different ways. Her creation of sweets, maybe unparalleled. I'm not going to start ranking things, but everybody who brought us food, I thank them very much. Very, very kind of you to bring us the treats throughout the night. Thank you, Wally.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan. It was great. We'll look forward to next week at Dallas, calling another game from amongst the stands and the opposing team's parents.
It's going to be our 3rd time this season. Trips to Woodburn, to Silverton, and Dallas are difficult enough when you're not put in the visiting section, but we will be surrounded by Dallas fans next Thursday night, so pray for our safety, won't you?
And we'll pray that nobody comes to the Dallas games. So we can call it relative anonymity.
We'll have a little bit of space. So West will be there, Jake Lacoste will be there, we will be there next Thursday night. Again, in the Valley, Oregon State home to Washington State tomorrow, 3 p.m. kick from Reeser. Ducks home to the Huskies tomorrow night in Eugene, 7:30 at Austin. You can hear that one on our sister station, 1580 KGAL. Thanks to Jeff Kiter with the stats. Thanks to Wally Ordeman, as always. Thanks to Brian Holman and Ryan Murphy, who really want me to stop talking so we can get the gear and get out of here. Thanks to Tom Gerner in the studio. We'll see you on Thursday. For everybody, I'm Ryan Pitts. Thanks for listening. West Albany wins the Civil War 75-18.
And this is Tom Gerner at the KSHO Sports Desk. I got some scores for you before the night's over with. We want to get those going here. We'll start with the 6A. At Barlow beat Centennial 31-21. That's a final. The rest are mostly in the fourth quarter. Century up on Newburgh 30-13. Sheldon over Crater 48-0. David Douglas and Reynolds tied up right now in the fourth quarter 35-all. Glencoe up on Forest Grove 54-14. Central Catholic over Gresham tonight 37-0. Lake O took on Canby. Lake O beat Canby 41-20. Sorry, not nothing. Lake Ridge over Lincoln 21-0 in the fourth. McMinnville over Hillsborough 42-6 also in the fourth. North Salem up on McNary 19-12. Oregon City is losing to Grant right now. It's 35-28 Grant over Oregon City. Grant's Pass 38, South Eugene 7. That's in the fourth right now. South Medford over Roseburg 23-16 in the fourth. South Salem is losing to Sprague just like it used to be, 28-7. Thurston over North Medford 26-17. Tigard is walloping Tualatin 41-0. West Lynn over Clackamas 42-35 in the fourth quarter. West Salem went over to Marion County, and they're up on McKay right now, 35-0 in the fourth. Aloha over Beaverton, 42-6. That's still in the second quarter. That's the last score that we have for that. And Sunset over Southridge, 3-0. Other scores of interest around the state. Philomath, well, at least in our area. Philomath up on Taft, 35-0. That's in the fourth. And Santiam Christian up on Harrisburg, 27-7. Santiam Christian right now, 4-1. Who knows? Maybe we'll be carrying them for playoffs again this year, maybe. We'll see. Cleveland is up on Benson 37-6. That's in the third. Back into 5A scores, of course. Churchill over Willamette 24-0 in the third. Wilson over Hood River Valley 34-7. Putnam is putting them on Liberty 63-0 in the fourth. Marist over Eagle Point 40-0. Mountain View over Pendleton tonight in the fourth quarter 42-7. We have Ashland over North Eugene 48-0 in the fourth. Sherwood over Park Rose. Sherwood did have 35-0 at the half. They doubled it. Sherwood over Park Rose 70-0. That one is a final. Redmond over Crook County 34-7 in the fourth. Sandy over St. Helens tonight 19-13. Springfield up on Marshfield in the sixth still 21-6. Bend over Summit 45-7 in the fourth. Ridgeview over the Dalles 14-0. Wilsonville over Milwaukee 27-6. And of course the final from yesterday 42-13. Hermiston over Southridge of Washington. Over into the Mid-Willamette Conference, Lebanon lost a tough one to Silverton tonight. The number 2 team in the state, 28-6, the final at Lebanon High School. Dallas is up on Woodburn 27-14, and Crescent Valley up on Corvallis 31-6. Of course, a final over at West Albany High School tonight. Jake Lacoste had 6 touchdowns. And the final score, 75-18. West will be at Dallas next Friday. That game will start at 6:50 right here on KSHO. Kickoff at 7 o'clock. And Lebanon is hosting Corvallis next Friday. That one on KGAL, our sister station, AM 1580. And that one, same time, 6:50 for the pregame show and 7 o'clock for the kickoff with Radio Ray and Rob Allen. All right, that's the end of the game, of course. Your final score from West Albany, 75-18 over South Albany in the Civil War. We'll talk to you next week. This is 920 KSHO. I'm, of course, Tom Gerner. Have a good night.
Thanks for listening to tonight's broadcast of West Albany football on the unforgettable 920 KSHO. You can follow the Bulldogs all season long, every snap, every score, every game, home and away on KSHO. Tonight's game was brought to you by Economy Supply Building Center, City and Suburban Electric, Lassen RV, Albany Athletic Club, Power Honda, Snap Fitness of Albany, Linco Federal Credit Union, Burgerville, Crabtree Automotive, Mark Thomas Motors, Grocery Outlet, Courtesy Corner Shell, Now Builders, Lynn Lanes, Willamette Community Bank, The Cutting Room, Les Schwab Tires of Albany, Figaro's of Albany, Wilson Motors, and by Lynn Benton Tractor. Listen throughout the season for more exciting Bulldogs action. This broadcast is exclusive property of Eads Broadcasting, the unforgettable 920 KSHO, and Fitzwally Productions. U.S. copyright law protects this broadcast. Duplication or rebroadcast of any portion of this program is strictly prohibited without prior written consent. We now join our regular programming.